All right, now we're here. The audio's right. We're sitting good, guys. Hopefully you guys can hear us okay. If you guys are watching, like I said, if you guys are watching on Instagram, on our Tradeskills Instagram, thank you for being here. You guys on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, you guys are awesome. Today, if you didn't read it in the messages, we are doing coffee, 3 of Nashville's top brewers, roasters, and we also have some...
So the interesting thing about
3 coffee beers as well.
Yeah, so we're doing 3 coffee beers and 3 coffees. Barista Parlor roasts theirs. Living Waters and Americano do not. But they basically worked with the roasters to come up with a blend that they liked for their place. And anyway,
it's their roasts.
Yeah, it's their roasts.
It's their blends.
It's their blends, exactly. And although I think Barista Parlor actually goes to the trouble of doing all of their own roasting. And that's why they're one of the top dogs in town. But these are 3 of my favorite places to get coffee. And
I didn't realize whenever I went to Barista Parlor that I have actually been there before.
Yeah, it's a great spot.
You and I went there one time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it didn't surprise me.
They have motorcycles there, and
it's a rad place.
It's like right down the street from us.
Yeah, it's a cool spot.
Yeah, it's a super cool spot. But yeah, if you guys are new to Tradeskills, if you're just now tuning in, this is a show where we find local skilled people, ideally, and we interview them, talk about what they do, and drink beer with them. We just moved to Nashville, or coffee. We just moved to Nashville, so we're in the process of making connections. One of the big, I guess, pros of living in a small town is that everybody knows everybody. So these connections can be established a lot easier. But Nashville, it's going to be a tougher nut to crack, but I have confidence that here in the near future, we're going to have tons of interviews. I've got a couple lined up, but I want to get the studio sitting right before I invite them on. It doesn't look as nice as this coffee shop behind me.
Honestly, the coffee shop setting is pretty damn cool. I mean, that's the most convincing green screen we've done yet. Yeah, I like that a lot. All right, so it's been a long day. I think let's break into one of these beers.
Okay, let me chug my beer down. There's this Tailgate Brewery, the one I'm drinking. We've had it on the show before. It's good. It's a Nashville brewery, and this is their peanut butter milk stout. So this isn't one of the ones that we're reviewing on the show. It's just tasty, and I'm drinking Leah's beers, but I'm gonna give her some of mine. So
oh, is that what this is?
This is Leah's beer. Yeah.
Shit, did I grab the wrong beers? I just grabbed the 3 that were in separate containers, and I realized that I have 2 of the same.
Yes.
So.
Yes, you grabbed the wrong ones. I'll give you time.
What do you?
I think it's actually in like a
okay.
holder.
All right.
A beer holder. I believe in you, Jake. So, thank you, whoever sent that message. Facebook on the air tonight with Brandon. Oh, right on, guys. That's Dave and Brandon of the Dave and Brandon radio show on Pretoria Fields Radio in Albany, Georgia. I was a part of that for a while. Bumio. I had the Hive. I had Sunday Kind of Love and Neon. So 3 shows where 2 of them were like old school think of like Motown, everything from like Sade, Smokey, Temptations to the Isley Brothers. That's them.
Ah, I found it.
And we've got
good.
We've got
even got an Orpheus.
we've got our special mugs. One of these, which I don't know which, survived Jake's house fire. It did. Mm-hmm. So good times of that. Not sure which one did, but we had these glasses, these Tradeskill glasses, made specifically for us for a coffee episode or episodes that we do in the future where we drink local coffee. Sorry, is that playing right now?
Yeah, I've tuned into yours so that I can watch comments and see who else might be watching.
Well, hopefully.
So now I can see Facebook comments on my side too. Anywho, let's break into one of these beers.
Yeah. I'm excited about drinking out of these for the show officially.
You picked up some good stuff tonight. I mean, I'm a huge Orpheus fan, as you know, but their stouts.
Southern Grist is actually really good too.
Yeah, and
it's really good for sours.
It's a churros beer.
And Evil Twin Brewing is actually really good brewery too. So we've got 3 bangers today.
My vote is let's start with the Southern Grist.
Okay.
They're local, and then
thanks for the like, Jay. Jay Lawrence, what's up?
What up?
I put the number up here if you guys are watching on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, or Twitch. If you guys want to call in, talk some shit. If you're from Nashville, even cooler. Yeah. Anyways, let's get into it.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Bust that bad boy open.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Heard.
What if I just poured it in the? That'd be bad.
Yeah.
It would ruin our coffee for the night. So I've always wondered if dust carries a flavor because our wine glasses are dusty.
You didn't want to rinse them or anything?
I didn't think about it in time.
Tons of clean, dust-free glasses in the cabinet. Jake's like, I'm going to get bougie. I'm going to get fancy with it. Let me grab these wine glasses. Glasses specifically designed for probably a red or white. I guess that's all of it.
Almost anything besides beer, but actually, I think they're great for beer, and it looks kind of fancy. Oh yeah, go ahead.
So what we're currently drinking or getting ready to drink is Southern Grist Brewing Company. It says you said it, not me. Tripping Animals Brewing. It's a collaboration, and this is this is Imperial Milk Stout brewed with lactose, marshmallows, turbinado, sugar, cinnamon, cocoa nibs, or cacao nibs, and espresso coffee beans.
Smells good.
It's 9.6%, so this is a bit of a schmoozy, boozy boy. But if we're gonna go,
let's do it.
Trying to get some of that stank ass head on there.
Yeah.
You guys are welcome. Anybody there sitting next to the microphone?
Mine's looking perfect. That. All right. Cheers.
Prost. The smell boozy. Smells boozy, boy.
Oh, that's good. That's pretty good. Marshmallowy. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna figure out how to make pour over.
So a little story. So Jake does know how to do a pour over. It's just been a long time for him, to say the least. Well, since you were a barista, correct?
No, I mean, I used to actually make these at home all the time, and
Where's your
I'm still a barista.
Where's your device?
I don't remember what happened to it. Probably didn't survive the house fire that one time. But,
heard.
But yeah, I mean, I love pour overs, and sometimes I'll go to a coffee shop.
Did you have one of the ones with a cork around here? Is that the one you had?
Yeah, no, I had one of the mine was like a 2-stage one. So
yeah, I saw one of those.
Like 2 separate.
I almost bought one of those at Barista Parlor. It's Japanese and it was 2 stages.
In my opinion, why don't we start with, what do you think we should start with? Living Waters or Barista Parlor?
You're the coffee guy. You know coffee so much better than I do. What
I think
apparatus did you put the hot water in?
I'm gonna pour it into a cup and bring it in here and then weigh it all out, and it'll be fine.
So anybody who doesn't know, and even I'm still new to it, what are the benefits of a pour over versus something like a normal drip coffee from a Mr. Coffee machine or like a French press?
The benefits, the thing that I like about it is that it just sort of unlocks a lot more of the flavor. And the reason it's able to do that is because you have way more control over the way that the coffee brews. So, you measure everything out exactly. You watch the way that the water pours into it. You can see where it's, you just end up with a stronger, more well balanced cup of coffee.
It just allows you to have. What's up, Mama Sharon? Cheers to Mama Sharon.
Cheers. Yeah, I'm gonna go get that water. It might take a second.
Mm-hmm. So apparently, when you have regular like drip coffee, which is what I use, like a coffee pot, because I'm lazy, and for me, I just like all coffee. Anyways, it kind of just has all the water hitting like a single part of the coffee grounds, and it makes kind of just like a coffee cake, and it doesn't really open up all the flavors. So apparently this, which I've had pour overs before, but this is kind of like the better way to do it. What he was saying is you just have a lot more control over. This could be really bad.
What?
You feel it very high.
Oh, it's big. I said side door, stare. Give me a minute.
The side door is unavailable. Anyways, not much. Just got home from work. Work? Where are you working? Anyways, it allows you to have a lot more control over your coffee, the flavors. Everything is, like you said, everything is measured. Everything is, you can get like the pure flavors. So if you are somewhat of a sommelier of coffee, you should be able to taste the differences.
Also, wildcard, my friend Starrett decided to come join us, so he's here.
What's going on?
Yeah, Brandon, you've met Starrett.
Yeah,
you've met Brandon.
You get down with some coffee?
Coffee and beer. So
Alicia, what's going on?
If you didn't know, and I don't know that you know,
Been working at Carter's Fried Chicken
didn't
for
know.
almost 2 years. 2 years. That's new to me.
Starrett, slide in here. Get on camera.
What up?
You can bring the chair in closer, unless you just really don't want to.
Yeah. So basically,
Are you
Brandon,
figuring it out
why
right
don't you
now?
tell Starrett what it is that we're doing and why.
What the
Because I don't
show
know that-
is?
Yeah, because I don't know that you've ever had the explanation.
So the show basically, this is Tradeskills, and every Monday, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 9 o'clock Central, we find locally skilled people, no matter what town you live in, whatever city. There are skilled, there's masters, there are awesome people that live right around the corner, right next door, people you pass on the streets, and we kind of want to just highlight them, drink beer with them, and talk about, how they got into it, just various different questions, and it's all a live stream, so people are tuning in live, and they can come in and ask questions. If anybody's like we had a blacksmith on, if anybody's like a budding blacksmith or just a metal worker or whatever, they can ask these questions. How do you get into it? How do I, it's, we think it's
basically ruined that one. That's fine.
It's a good thing there's a stack of it.
Yeah. Now, so what I'm doing right now, not to interrupt you.
Well, I'm here to observe and partake.
Yeah. Well, if you want to go ahead and crack, you get down with beer, right?
Yeah.
If you want, that one's yours. If you want to crack it, try it. We're drinking Southern Grist.
I brought a coffee cup too.
Yeah. We'll definitely try the coffee. Actually, I have more coffee mugs. You can have one of those.
So it says, this is You Said It, Not Me, and it's Southern Grist, and it is basically like a pastry imperial stout with coffee.
Okay. So, what I'm doing right now is
you're kind of wetting the filter, so
it removes some of that like paper flavor.
What if I want paper flavor?
Well, then you just shit out of luck, my guy. Because this is gonna taste
I'll
papery.
upload this to
So we go live on
Facebook and Instagram right now.
Yeah, so right now we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook Live, we're on Twitch, and we're on YouTube Live.
And now I'm just sort of blooming the coffee. It's just like literally a little bit of water. It doesn't take much.
Alicia said, "Hey, new friend."
I'm doing this kind of like.
You met Alicia. You played chess with her one time.
Did you?
No, that wasn't Alicia. No, Alicia was there.
I don't know. I do not know.
Yeah.
Starrett's like one of my mystery friends.
Yeah,
that
we were
most of my other friends
at.
are. Oh yeah, we were.
I pitched an idea to Jake the other day. I want to do chess, but like we videotape it.
Yeah.
We just gotta find a way.
I'm not
What's up,
trying
Tim
to
Cam?
disrupt your show.
No,
No,
see,
you're good.
that's
Congratulations.
that's why
Tim
I
Cam.
invited you on. Because
See?
that's an interesting idea.
So
I had a
you're
crazy idea yesterday. I took two Sudafeds because my ears were all clogged up, and I was like, "Let's do a chess
show.
Yeah,
It was actually funny.
Drink beer, What you guys got going on?
So
here?
Jake already had a show kind of like that.
Me and Ty did one episode. We did chess shots.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it called again? Scotch game.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, it was a dumb.
Isn't that a move?
That's an opening that nobody plays. But yeah, I don't know. It was kind of a dumb.
No, I like it. Falcons. Yes, it was at Falcons.
Oh yeah, that's right. I love Falcons.
It's a little, yeah.
So this is okay. Let's see. I want it to blend a little bit more.
Usually go for?
Oh, we'll stick around usually about 2 hours. It seems like.
So yeah, people generally, I don't think they're going to sit around and just watch you play chess. But as long as you can keep the banter right and just have something else in between that kind of just
I was figuring
adds humor
edit it to 5 minutes. Like maybe we crack some jokes in between and make it into one quick little video.
Like a little our chess thing.
Yeah, I guess it's
that'd be fun.
To YouTube, not a live stream, is the difference.
And yeah, that's one of the things.
But if somebody's into it for the chess, I mean, you would be cutting out a lot of the actual like movements, right?
Yeah, I guess
the chess would kind of be taken out of it.
Yeah, my emphasis would be more on like
just the
round.
Yeah,
I mean, that's kind of what we're doing right here.
Make it something watchable.
Yeah,
and yeah, I'm kind of. I mean, me and Brendan are obviously into the video. Funny banter kind of thing.
Just got to get Scott to come in and help us with the
the animations. Yeah, Scott is totally down for that. We just have to find out a time to do it.
I thought that was going to be this Sunday.
Yeah.
I thought you can uniformly pour it in there. You kind of just
not out of glass. No, this is working. Don't worry.
How many beers have you all sampled today?
I mean, ideally,
we're on our first beer.
Ideally, you should just sort of be able to.
We started at 9.
I don't have a way of doing that, so we're just kind of improvising. But it actually looks like it's brewing just fine. This is kind of what it usually would look like. And I need more water, so I'm gonna go get some hot water. Pardon me, sir.
Well, so how many people are watching this right now?
I try not to focus on the people too much. Like, how many people are watching? I've got 3 over here. I've got 1 over here. I don't know how many on YouTube. I don't know how many on Twitch. I went to my Tradeskills Twitch this time.
All right, this is
because this is Tradeskills, so
if you want me to pour it
there was much better option than that.
What?
I think actually the glass thing would have been better. You could have poured it.
Yeah, but I was worried about it messing with like the flavor, kind of.
I mean, it's glass, the same thing as the pint glass you're using right now.
Yeah, but I don't know. We don't have we're morons.
Not me. I made a sound suggestion.
Yeah, but that's we counter each other. That's why this works. We're the perfect team.
Yeah, man. Cheers.
You sound salty. You sound salty.
What are the grand aspirations for this? We trying to go big or?
I mean, if it does that, that's cool. That's not really what I mean, I kind of just want to really just like hang out and talk to just super talented, uniquely skilled kind of people. And there's just, like I said, there's some in every town.
It's interesting.
Oof.
It's working.
Kind of.
It's really hot, though.
It's boiling water.
God damn it. Turns out I'm a moron, guys. Alright.
So you're just trying a couple of different types of coffee?
Yeah. So these are some of the top 3 like roasters coffee groups in Nashville right now. So currently this is what, Barista Parlor that we have?
Living
no,
Waters.
This is Living Waters. What coffee is this? Do we have any info on it?
Methodical, so it's Ethiopian.
Can I borrow that a second? Right from
Yeah.
So this is Methodical. There's a beauty paradox. There is a beautiful paradox in the simplicity of brewing coffee and the complexity of its mastery. Artist, Annie Coelho. Methodical coffee.
Smells okay.
So this says it's actually not from Living Waters.
No, like I said, it's a blend brewed for them.
For them, okay. It's Ethiopia, Der Ferris. For us, it's blueberry, blackberry, cherry. Those are our tastes. Those are our notes. Whole bean coffee. You guys cannot see that on Instagram, and I apologize. It's kind of cut. It's the lights in front of us. They're beaming. They're bright.
What? Oh.
Yes.
Yeah. This is very slow. Normally this is fast. What the fuck? I don't know if I like our paper.
The paper? It's not the paper. It's
not pouring. I mean, why would it?
Hey, look. I mean, this came directly from Barista Parlor. Like this is this was the top damn filters. Yeah. I think you maybe put too much coffee in for the time, or maybe I don't know.
No, that's not true. I know that's not true. It might just be a little unevenly ground for this, but that's my grinder's fault.
Struggle bus all day.
Late to be drinking coffee.
No, definitely not.
I mean, this is probably going to be good, but I'm not totally sure anymore.
Well, wouldn't it be?
Because so everything up here is going to be way oversteeped. It's just not. It's the grinds are too fine for this, and they don't look fine though. They really are pretty coarse actually. It's just they're uneven. But you know, I got to work with the tools I have. So we'll see. Maybe it's good. Maybe it's not. Under the same, if we treat all the coffees this way, and then you know we'll still have a clear winner. Now whether or not they live up to their potential, that I don't know. This is why we need to have an actual coffee episode in the future where we bring somebody on that knows what the fuck they're doing.
I mean, you worked at Temp for a long time. I feel like a pour over should be pretty easy for you.
That is completely different tools.
You're pouring hot water over a filter with coffee
but
in it.
Usually I have a spout, and
I told you there was one in there.
Yeah, but I don't like that one.
It's glass just like this is. It's actually probably had less liquids in it run through it than this did.
It just kind of didn't smell okay.
I told you it just needed a good rinse. It had been sitting there for a while.
Yeah, but
as we drink from wine glasses that have collected dust.
I don't criticize me about the thing. I mean, shit. This is a completely different setup than I'm used to. There's not much I can do about that. But let's see how it turned out. I guess. I mean, it might be fine. It might not be. We're gonna find out.
Let me clean my glass out. I used this morning.
Smells good. I mean, it might be good. Looks good.
Can't get into it yet. The fuck, man?
It smells a little...
pour us up, man.
It's a little weak. It's kind of what I would expect. I think that's how it's going to be.
It smells nice.
Yeah.
It's very floral. It smells like I'm just walking through a
flower.
Fucking
straight
through a flower. Through a garden.
Straight through a flower.
A massive daffodil. I peonies. I just like fucking tackle through a field of peonies.
Yeah. I don't know. We gotta think. Starrett, where are you?
He's cleaning his glass. Finish up on your beer real quick before we get into some coffee. Go ahead and tackle your beer. Solid beer. What is going on? Thank you for coming in, tuning in. That's what's up. So, the Instagram through Tradeskills, hopefully it will come through. I haven't really gone about following people, but we are doing beer and we are doing coffee, all from Nashville, I guess within reason. One of these is Orpheus, which is in Atlanta, but close enough. The one that we are currently drinking is Southern Grist. It is, you said it, not me. And it is Tipping Animals collaboration, 9.6%. It's an imperial milk stout with espresso coffee beans and a lot of other
nonsense.
Coffee-esque, coffee shop, biscotti.
It's got a goddamn churros on it.
It does.
I love churros. Cheers, guys. Let's taste the coffee.
It's too hot for me.
It's not bad.
Let it cool down.
It's a little weak, but that's kind of what I would expect. So the reason this is a little weak, the flavor's good. The reason this is a little weak, though, is because the grinds are uneven a little bit, and if they're uneven, it pours quickly around the large stuff, and then gets stuck on the small stuff, and that's why the water wasn't pouring very well, and. Yeah, so, which is unfortunate, because it would be nice to have perfect grinds, but I have a $100 grind. So...
You're left-handed, right?
Who?
You.
Maybe.
Yeah. Grab it with your right hand. Let's cheers.
Okay.
Trade skill glasses.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
You would be left-handed, Jay. You would be left-handed.
Well,
You do be
yeah,
left-handed.
you don't even have hands, so... think about...
Just nubs.
God damn.
Got him. Got his ass. Tell us about your life, because, honestly, we've been friends for a while, but you're kind of an enigma to me. Like...
What do you do besides
your
besides
entire
chess?
life story. We want your whole life story, start to finish.
Well,
Go.
I work at Vanderbilt right now. I'm a budget analyst. Shoot me.
So you went to school for like business and okay.
Business analytics. I got a minor in accounting.
Oof.
It's all right. Yeah, I know. It's what I'm good at, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm good at math. I can't write to save my life.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Like you're like a beast at Excel.
what's that?
Oh no?
Acidic?
No, a beast at Excel.
Oh, yeah. I have a side job I do, which is just all Excel work.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just
like-
working in formulas in there to get your
Yeah.
account for doubtful returns. Well, I guess you probably have to do that a lot if you're doing it with a school. Like, well, no, school doesn't probably write off anything. account for doubtful returns is like, yeah, we're not getting that money back. It's a percentage of stuff that you're like just factored in. It's just a loss.
Yeah, like
But I
people who like aren't gonna pay.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
That was actually
Yeah.
pretty tasty.
I'll have some more of it.
Yeah, it's just like accounting shit. It's not my passion. But I
What
like to
is
make
your
money.
passion besides chess? What do you like besides chess?
I like to rap,
Okay.
but I'm taking a pause on my rap career. I'm really good at freestyling.
Okay. So, in like what? You still need some more?
Do you want more coffee?
Oh no,
No.
So, like, who would you say that is similar?
To me,
Yeah. Like in a style, as far as inspiration, like there had to be somebody you pulled from that you probably mimicked to
Like-
some small extent.
like when I freestyle, I like to take Max B's flows. Like Max B's in jail doing life right now. He's from New York. But the way like I rap, I'm always thinking of the way his flow is.
Nice.
I don't even know who that is.
He's in jail doing life.
For
Robbing someone.
Well, that'll
He's
happen.
one of the real ones. You either go to jail or you die if you're a real one.
he's from the streets. Like
yeah.
he's not like one of the glamour rappers that kind of.
He's not like
See, that's why-
MGK or he's not like...
This is why
Is,
you're.
would you call is it MG? I guess MGK.
MGK is not really about
This is why I can't like figure you out. This is like you're an enigmatic person to me. It's because you join our chess club, and then you're like, yep, I'm an accountant. I work at the college. It's like, okay, and then you're like, I'm also a rapper, and it's just somehow it's all very mysterious. So
besides work, what envelops most of your time, or your mental? Like, what do you think about mostly? Is it like rap? Like, what do you focus on? What's your
Today I'm also getting my MBA part-time. But today in class, I was thinking how boring class is, and what can I do to make money?
murder.
So what's the final goal as far as having the money?
Like something that doesn't kill me at the end of the day, you know?
Yeah.
Like work-life balance is important to me.
That's important to me.
I mean, if you can make decent
I don't know,
money, but you do a
I've
lot.
been thinking about that for the past 3 days, so I've been drinking a bunch too. I feel like I just need to I feel like the next couple of days I need
Cheers to drinking a
regulate
bunch.
my mood a little bit.
I'm done with I'm done
Cheers
with my
with your
beer.
beer.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm done with mine.
But-
I wasn't playing with it.
you know.
You got to make room in there because you got two more
You're
beers
just
to go.
a quick liquid drinker, Brandon. You have a bigger.
I
head than me.
wanted to finish my beer before I went into a coffee.
No, this is it's you have an unfair advantage because your head's like twice as big as me. You're like a whale.
This is like, what you guys are seeing.
And what would take me?
We're literally right next to each other. This is our size difference. Mm-hmm. Jake is a small hobbit-like man, and
I'm actually sitting like
he's Jake
a foot in front of him.
Jake Bobaggins.
Jake Bobaggins.
Jake Bobaggins, and he's from the Shire. He has hairy feet.
I do have hairy feet.
And he hopes one day to go on a journey with Gandalf, but that motherfucker Bilbo, fucking took it.
Yeah, that was.
Bilbo's a fucking square. What the fuck does he want to do with Bilbo?
That's what I thought. I thought I was like, never mind. We're not making any sense, Brandon. This is dumb. The point is though, you. I don't know.
I wanted to finish my beer before I got into a coffee. I finish what I start, so I wanted to go ahead and finish my beer and then get into the coffee.
I'll literally murder you.
You can't. You're a hobbit.
Brandon? I'll murder you.
You're quite literally a hobbit. You can't murder. You can murder a baguette in second breakfast, and that's about it.
I can murder a baguette.
Yeah, I'm gonna be up all night.
Oh, definitely. No doubt about that.
Oh, no, I'll pass the fuck out. Mm-hmm. What's up, Phil? What's going on, man?
Howdy.
Phil shreds, man. Do you know Phil? You've probably met him a couple times. He's played at Mello. He's played at, well, I don't think he's played at Pretoria since you've lived in Albany.
I don't know.
Super cool guy, real nice. He actually played on, he came on Pretoria's radio, and he's played a bunch of events up there. He actually we're just hanging out, man. We're drinking some Nashville roasters coffee, like 3 of our top Nashville roasters, and we are drinking some local beer.
Relaxing.
We hanging out, having a good time. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah. Thanks for dropping in, man.
Yeah, man. So, I love to see new faces. Like, I haven't seen Phil in here before, so it's great to see it. And again, I don't know if Tim Kim saw it, but congratulations on the engagement.
Oh, nice.
So I'm sure whenever I go to Viet Pho, I'm going to see your woman up there handling the business, taking care of it, while you, I don't know, you're in the back cooking or whatever it is that you...
whatever it is.
Tim's a multi-skilled, multifaceted man.
Yeah. So, B.
It's cool how much you like Nashville. Nashville's cool.
Yeah, it's a good spot. Yeah,
anything you can be interested in. If you want to learn how to play the banjo, and then, in your free time, also learn how to fence, take salsa lessons, German, and there's anything you could want. There's the options for it.
It's typical big city life.
Yeah. So, we live kind of what you'd say 15 minutes from downtown.
Yeah, we're in a good part of town. Say,
there's a lot of homeless in our area, but it is what it is. With any big city, you're going to have large amounts of homeless. Shout out, Viv. What's up?
Anyway, Jesus Christ. What was I about to say? I've forgotten.
We were talking about you being a hobbit.
No, this was after that.
You guys
this was
on
after
dating
that.
apps like Tinder?
Nah. Actually,
I got a lady. So
on that right now. Aziz Ansari has a book about modern romance. And
I
all the
hear
dating
this.
apps and how it's changing our whole lives as young people.
Yeah, you got stuff like
we
Hinge
changed
where
our
people
topic
just
to
kind
that.
of get together and just...
Is that okay?
That's good. Yeah,
totally derailed
dude,
the conversation.
No, this is a good... So, me and Brandon, we were like, what the fuck are we going to talk about? We have no idea what we're going to talk about.
So we normally
this
have...
is something we can talk about.
We normally have a show where where I'm like scouting out people and trying to, I'm trying to have people on the show to interview and, kind of bringing whatever skill they have to light, whether they're a musician or a paranormal investigator or a glass blower. I want to like talk about what they do, drink a beer with them, talk about how they got into it. We're new to Nashville. We don't have that option. So it's going to take a bit to for us to make these connections because we just don't know anybody. So while we do that, we have shows like this. We want to be consistent and still go on every Monday, 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. What's up, Megan?
I have...
Jake, you're so cool, man. Megan Pedigo.
Hey, Megan, what's going on?
I worked with her at Mello for a while.
Yeah, we go way back. We worked together at Gargano's, man.
Oof.
That was a big time oof back there. Jesus Christ. I heard you're married and have a kid now, so congrats on that. Anywho, yeah. What was I saying?
We were talking. So before I started talking about what the show was and how we kind of derailed, but we're talking about Hinge. You said you were reading something about like modern dating, so everything from like Tinder to Bumble to Hinge to Grindr.
This is something I need advice on. So
the book I'm reading, it's by Aziz Ansari, the comedian. My coworker told me to read it.
Oh, he's that one guy.
He's an Indian dude.
Yeah, that's in like all those TV shows.
Yeah. Anyways, what I was reading today is it seems like there's more options than there ever was before because you got hundreds of people on Tinder. You can swipe right or left.
More than that, because you can increase your range, and you can, if you live in like a small town like us in Albany, you can see all the way to Atlanta if you wanted to. You can see hundreds of miles.
But the thing is that even though it may seem like we have way more options, we don't. Like, it's kind of the same as it was back then. Like, back in the 50s, people would date people down their block or in their same neighborhood just because they were familiar with them, because it was easier, and because, like, convenience.
Compromise.
Yeah, essentially.
You might not have the options of, 100,000 people at your disposal in your hand, so you find somebody down the street that works at the local general store, and you're able to make a connection, and like maybe you guys aren't completely balanced, but there's compromises along the way, and you find something in the middle.
Yeah. But anyways, bringing it back to like today, like Tinder and Hinge and all this shit, we have a plethora of options, but like the thing is, you get ghosted so easily too. Like you match with someone and like boom, oh, you voted for Trump, I don't like you. I don't want to talk to you ever again. When there's so much more to consider about a person, just like one little thing. Or like, oh, you don't like cats or you don't like dogs. It's like I never met you before and you're on my profile and like I matched with you, but it's like, oh, I see one thing about you that I don't like. I can just never talk to you again. So I guess the Trump thing was like a big thing to leap on. But for like one little thing you don't like about someone and you see it on their profile, like it's so easy to just like
totally
ghost them.
Yeah, with having so many options, you actually have less options because there's less people that you 100% like kind of connect with.
Yeah. Right. Or it's easier just to back out, commitment. Like
how many people actually find something significant through an app like that?
In the book it was saying like some people get married off of it. Both of my two coworkers actually found their wives off of it. But they got 10 years on me at least.
Yeah.
But
when are you coming down to CSB? No telling when I'll come back to Albany. So I work where I work now. I generally only get 2 days off at a time, and my 2 days are like getting shit done days. They're like buying groceries and washing clothes and like getting ready for this show or getting ready for Alicia's show. It's one of the few.
I don't even have day offs anymore. I haven't had a day off in over a month. Shit.
Yeah. It's all chosen. He chooses to have that.
Yeah.
You choose to have 4 jobs.
I don't know. I mean, I can't say no to anything. So somebody's like, hey,
sodomy.
No.
You just said you can't say no to things.
I can say no to that.
Dang it, we miss you.
Yeah. I mean, it's like if somebody's like, hey, Jake, you'll be at work tomorrow, right? Or like, hey, man, we really need to get, we need 5 more hours this week, is there any way you can come in? And, it's that kind of conversation. I have a hard time saying no to it.
I'll do 45 minutes a day.
I also have this bad habit of, like, talking to somebody, and they're like, oh, man, we really need somebody to come out and do this or that. And I'll be like, oh, I can do that. I'm good at things. And suddenly, before I know it, I've found myself roped into another job. And,
hell no.
Yeah.
So he's got 4 now.
I currently have 4 jobs.
Yeah.
So I work a double basically every day.
I'm super excited about this. Yeah. I want to get into it before.
I was hoping we could finish on that one.
Okay, then let's go to the Imperial Biscotti.
That one's gonna be over the top strong though. The Orpheus.
Okay, so currently we're running Evil Twin
because we're
Brewing,
and you might be able to sample it.
2, and then I gotta be good to drive.
All right, so this is Evil. So you have
splitting the next ones.
Yeah. So you have a full beer right there.
One full beer, and then
what are y'all sipping on?
A third of 2 more.
So currently this is Evil Twin Brewing Imperial Biscotti Break. It's a the lever's missing. So I'll get back to this person. I was looking at buying a camera from them, but the lever's missing. So,
What dating?
if he goes downtown, hit up Broadway, walking up and down, just kind of doing what you guys do now. Probably pick up some very interesting people.
Well,
so Broadway would be cool. It's the only thing is there's just lots of tourists. So most of what we would find is bridesmaids.
Yeah, it's overrun with bachelorette parties. It's evolved into a level of hell straight out of Dante's Inferno. But I digress.
So let me talk about this beer some.
Okay.
Imperial Biscotti Break. It's 1 pint in this big old glass or big old thing. It says Imperial Stout brewed with coffee and almond and vanilla extracts. Evil Twin is I'm trying to think where it's out of. So this is 11.5%.
They're
Italy,
out of New York. New York City.
Italy has a certain je ne sais quoi. So let's use a French word to explain Italy. Okay, cool. Fab food, culture, highly decadent history, art, and cool countryside. Some might argue that people are loud and flamboyant. They still are women. The soccer teams melodramatically flop on a pitch.
Stealing our women.
Listen, that's all part of the secret Italian ingredient. Keep it cool, confident, arrogant, extravagant.
I like
Forza Italia.
Italian.
I like marinara.
Says, trust me, I've been there, done that. Show that we put on. Cayete. Trust me, I've been there, done that. It was a show that we put on. It's called Music City Rocks. We filmed it at Rivergate Mall. We walked up and down Broadway, went into some bars, talked to some musicians. We got in very interesting and fantastic wannabe. I guess that's not good. I'm working at Stars. So downtown is just I enjoy downtown, but it can be 100% a shit show. So we generally try to dodge it. Parking is atrocious. Traffic is atrocious getting down there. It's like, 10 minutes from us? 15 minutes maybe? Mm-hmm. But we try to dodge it. So this is from Stratford, Connecticut. Let's get into the beer before I ramble on too long.
Yeah, it's like right up. But yeah,
I'm into that. Yeah, so eventually we will make connections. Jake works at a restaurant where he will have some friends who are cool as shit. It's Nashville. People are attracted to Nashville. Talented people. So all in due time.
And when you finish that, you can have some of this.
Yeah.
Steady but slowly.
Nah, man, pound that shit down.
So let's talk more about modern dating and social media, because this is something that's never. I don't think.
I told you to use the popcorn technique, Jake.
What's that?
You invite them to the movies and offer to pay for everything.
That's straight out of high school.
And then you have your penis in the popcorn thing.
That
when they reach in for the popcorn, they find a dingus.
The problem is you never know when they're going to reach into the popcorn. Like some people.
Oh, they're gonna want some popcorn. It's salty. They're gonna want some popcorn.
Hang on. So, I don't know.
Boys ain't true loving anyone yet.
I've known a few people that just didn't like movie theater popcorn, and they might have like one handful at the very end. And I don't know about you, but you'd have to. Never mind.
Just get you a big old box of some candy.
No,
I was saying,
on a serious note, movies are terrible date ideas. You don't get to talk to them. You don't know them after the movie. You might laugh at the same jokes, but
I know.
In all actuality,
you're both going to be super focused unless there's some insane chemistry beforehand, and you guys start making out during the movie, and it's kind of like a Netflix and chill situation. And then afterwards, you just kick out of the movie and go somewhere. These things happen, but
the Netflix and chill situation is basically the only way that I can ever meet girls.
Well, you live with 2 other people, so
I mean, anywho,
you ain't getting laid no time soon, homeboy. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that, Brandon.
Incel life.
Yeah.
Incel, run it.
That's not me.
No, I feel Jake does pretty good.
Incel.
I make a lot of friends.
Yeah,
and I mean I have a lot.
That one blends,
I meet a lot.
really.
That's tasty.
So the last one was 9.5%. This one's 11.5 and doesn't taste nearly as boozy. Always do something outdoorsy on the first date. No, I feel that. Go on a hike together. And then if you find yourself out in the woods where nobody's around, if the chemistry's there,
You take some cool photos.
take
of
it to
the
Brown
woods.
Town.
No,
yeah,
no.
yeah, that.
Some cool photos of the woods, some birds or something, falling leaves.
Yeah, I like Percy Priest. I have done the deed there.
Oh yeah, in the woods for sure.
Really?
Yeah, in the woods, bushes, wherever you need to.
Yeah. Oh, it's risky. Like there's this. Well, there's a
You
BMX
just go off.
track.
You just go off trail.
Ever go to the BMX track area?
I've never been.
No,
to Percy
I'm new to
Priest.
Nashville, but you just go off trail and you just hike elsewhere and get lost in the woods, and chemistry's there. Just keep the chatting going on, and then
Yeah, I've had. I won't talk about it.
No.
But it's been perfect.
This is a safe place.
Life was perfect for all of 20 minutes.
Don't be hard on yourself.
No, it's
20 minutes in the wood. 20 minutes on pine cones next to a tree it can be
I'm just saying, nothing matters.
No, and then
You
if
are
you're
just there in the moment.
there's it's kind of like a scene where there's deer watching you, and there's squirrels and bear, and everybody's circled around you like a Disney film, and they're all just watching you do your thing.
Jesus Christ, that's. I just imagined that perfect scene in the Disney movie where there's like two birds land next to each other. There's a bear. There's
it's like
a few playful foxes.
Ace Ventura when he opens up his door and just fucking flocks of animals come. That's it.
Jesus Christ.
It's perfect.
Yeah, you'd like destroyed the innocence of the scenery.
Anyways,
That's why you went out to the woods.
have you been on Tinder, Hinge?
So
What are your experiences?
that's a funny
let's
story.
talk
So I've never met with somebody from Tinder. I downloaded it when I was in Norway. This is like some time ago, I guess 2015, 2016, something like that. I downloaded it because everybody in the hostel, like we were hanging around drinking, and everybody was kind of just handing each other the phone and just swiping around just for shits and giggles.
Oh, right.
And so I was hanging out with these guys, and I downloaded it on the spot, and then just kind of it became a thing whenever I was traveling, just to kind of when I was sitting bored at a train station. I've got 20 minutes till the train gets there. If you're in Italy, no telling when the train's gonna get there. So you're just fucking swiping. You're just bored as shit. It's a time waster. Like when I did have it and it was in my apps, it was listed under time waster. Like it was just something that I kind of just scrolled through. I never took it seriously. If I made connections, I never like commented. Then I never met up with them. I didn't download it with the option to seek somebody out. It was literally just a time waster.
I take it serious. I take the dating app serious. I guess I'm a little desperate right now.
Dude, come on, man.
You go through periods. It goes through waves.
I mean,
I was doing great a month ago. Now I got nothing. Anyways, I've never been in a hostel, but both of you guys have hosteled like crazy, and I'm like, fuck,
dude,
I oughta
hostels
right
are
now.
the way to go, especially
If you're
wanna meet
overseas.
girls.
Oh yeah,
And-
because hostels are they're unisex generally. You can go to ones that have it separated, but generally they're unisex, and you're gonna be in a room.
And they all have, but it's not that. I never really seem to meet anybody in the rooms. Where you meet people is in the common areas. Every hostel has like a little hangout area that's like a kitchen and some couches and a TV. And,
There's just some guy on the couch playing a guitar.
yeah.
You've never had like any bad experiences?
No,
never.
dude.
Never.
Honestly, I will, anytime
no
there's
creepy, like there's a movie called Hostel. So
Yeah,
that's
but
really bad.
Like
don't
that.
take that. I mean, that's kind
Yeah.
of like never wanting to go to the beach because you saw Jaws.
Okay.
So honestly, good analogy. And honestly, I've met some of my best friends that are girls. I've met through hostels.
Oh, I have tons of people.
And like people from all over that. I mean, and I had one or two like pretty interesting experiences because of hostels.
Yeah.
Um,
how many times? How long have you stayed in a hostel? You think, all in your total span of life? How many months or days?
Fuck. I've probably spent at least 4 or 5 months in hostels. I would
No shit.
guess. Yeah, because anytime I was abroad, I was only in hostels. That last stretch I was abroad for 3 months, and then anytime I'm out west, I stay in hostels.
Damn.
So I've done
yeah.
2 or 3 big trips, and every night was pretty much a hostel.
Yeah, you probably stayed 6 to a year.
Probably no.
You don't think so?
No, because the first trip was 3 months. The second trip was like 2 months. The West Coast trip, which I either camped out or I stayed at hostels, that was only like a 1 or 2 month trip.
Mm-hmm.
So probably not too long. But honestly, hostels are awesome. And you said you meet them in the common area, which you can. Like, it's awesome because it's the area that everybody's sitting there reading or meeting each other. But I meet them in the room. Because a hostel, everybody kind of checks in at the same time. Like, there's like a 3 or 4 hour stint where it gives everybody time to clean the hostel, clean the rooms, bed sheets, and all that jazz.
Yeah.
So let's say check-in is at like 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. Everybody's kind of rushing and grabbing their bunks, whatever bunk, if you're in room 340, whatever. I see you. We'll get to it, Jake. I see you. So everybody goes into the room and they get their bunk bed together. Is this what you're staying in? And then, I kind of strike up conversation like, hey, what are you in town for? Oh, you're in Rome. You're here to see the Colosseum. Me too. And then eventually you guys buddy up and you hike through, or you walk through Rome together in the Colosseum. Or if you're in Norway, you do like mountain hikes together. And then you go out to like bars and drink together and you all come back together. Like, you really, really buddy up.
Did you do it by yourself every time?
Mm-hmm.
Just you?
Yeah.
Damn. See, that's the thing. I'm afraid of just doing it by myself because I did a trip by myself before and I was like, I wish someone was here. I was
Life
just
is
drinking by
short.
myself
Just
the whole
fucking do
time.
stuff.
So what's great about being by
I was just
yourself?
drinking by myself though.
No. So in hostels, it's different. So when you're by yourself on a trip, you're more inclined to strike conversations with random people. Yeah. If somebody's sitting there and there's, a girl that just got to the hostel and she throws down her book bag and, you see like a My Hero Academia sticker or something on her bag or something. And you're like, hey, I fuck with that. My Hero Academia.
And then she only speaks French. And
rock on, I'll see you. Thanks, Phil, for popping in. But yeah, so you find ways to connect with people. Especially when you're in the same room together, it's really easy to buddy up. I met some guys. I met a couple when I was in. We'll get to it. I see you, Jake. I met a couple when I was in Dublin, Ireland. I bumped into them again when I was in. Not Glasgow. I was in Galway, Ireland. Like a month later, I was walking through Budapest and bumped into them. I'm walking one way, they're walking the other, and we're like, "Yo, what's up?" They're Canadian, so we buddied up. And then we added each other on Facebook, and I was in Naples, Italy, and they're like, "Are you in Naples right now?" And I was like, "I just got here," and they're like, "We did too." So
evil twin brother.
So we buddied up and we hiked through. We did Vesuvius together. We did Pompeii together.
I gotta go to Vesuvius.
We went to Rome together, and we did like the Colosseum and St. Peter's Basilica, and you just meet people along the way. And when I went to Canada the last 2 times, that's who I stayed with. Those are the people I met in hostels along the way.
I have 2 hostel stories. 2 hostel stories, and this is.
Is this about girls?
Yes.
Can you talk about them now? Or
I have 3 hostel stories.
You added an extra.
All right. And there's nothing really particularly exciting, exactly. Well, there was this one time in Italy. Okay, I was in Milan, and I stayed 2 nights in like right by the cathedral, and it was kind of lame over there. So I googled
I like the captions.
I googled.
Yeah, I like the caption. So whenever it says Jake is a big chode, it's gonna pop up.
All right, so let me tell my story.
It says Jake is a big chode.
Let me tell my story.
You're welcome. I screenshotted Jake is a big chode.
All right, so where the fuck was I?
You were by a cathedral.
You're in Milan.
Okay, thank you. So I was in Milan at this cathedral, and it was kind of boring at that hostel. So I moved to another one, and I googled where's the hangout place? Where does everybody hang out in Milan? And it's this area called the Navigli, which is right along a canal, and it was just the nightlife was incredible. And in Italy, everybody's out till 6 a.m. So
super late.
Yeah, 6 a.m. And that's how late the party people are out. And it's just hundreds of people, real crowded. That's why they got COVID so bad. Anyway, they
lock.
They do not. It's shoulder to shoulder the whole block down there. Very cool. Anywho, I go into this hostel, and it's you can tell from the vibe it's one of those party hostels where it's entirely drinking and sex. That's like the vibe, you know. And hostels are like that. Hey,
Some hostels are like
some
that for
hostels
sure.
are like other
They're
hostels.
called party.
are
Yeah,
like-
they're party
party
hostels.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's what this was. This was kind of the party hostel. I go in and it's like all these like it's just mattresses on the floor in a room. And it's real simple, and they're like a foot away from each other. And I walk into this room, and I
That's
realize
not how hostels are.
this is unusual actually, but Italy's kind of laissez-faire, to use a French word to describe Italy. But
So-
again, anywho,
Were they just
excellent
fucking?
joke.
Were they just fucking when you walked in?
No, nothing like that. Nothing that crazy.
That's too Italian.
That's too. Yeah, it's way too Italian.
But it was like openly encouraged to just fucking drink.
Okay. Okay, I have a photo of this later that I'll show you. There was a sign there where it's like there's like it was something like you know, don't sleep in anybody else's bed unless you're invited. And it was like, whoa.
Yeah, there was a
that's
sign in
playing
Rome, party hostel, that said there's no rule against sleeping with the staff.
And it's weird. Some hostels are just like that kind of, but the way I am a cheap traveler, and I'll okay, except for food. But transportation is I do it as cheap as possible, and somewhere to stay I do it as cheap as possible. So this hostel was like $6 a night, you know. So
Damn.
cheap, but
Super cheap.
But it's a you know
You literally just get a mattress on the floor.
it's just a mattress.
So
on the floor with
most
fresh
hostels
sheets.
are range from about 7 to maybe 30. On the weekends, maybe it'll be a little 30.
Yeah, it depends on when you're there.
Your eyes are super dilated.
Huh?
Like
You
super
just-
big.
Oh yeah.
It's probably the light.
Probably the light.
Sweating.
Anywho.
Usually when there's light, it closes.
So anyway, so I walk into this room and nobody else is in there, but I can see from everybody else's bags that I'm the only guy, and I'm like, but it's kind of awkward because the mattresses are like a foot away from each other. It's like
all girls hostel.
no, it was a mixed thing. A lot of hostels are just mixed dormitories. Anywho, so I'm like, well, whatever, and I take a shower and I put my, I take a shower, change into my night clothes, and go to sleep. It's about midnight. Nobody's there. They're all out partying, I assume.
Yeah.
Anyway, and so I go to sleep. Anyway, about 3 or 4 a.m., I hear the door open, and like I wake up a little bit, but I don't really, I don't want anybody to know I'm awake. I just pretended to be asleep because I didn't want it to be awkward. And like 5 girls walk in. Okay, and
I remember you telling me.
yeah, I've told you this story at some point.
And
I
then
think.
what? They all just started
No, and
buzzing out.
no, nothing like that. It's just there's like 5 Italian girls, and they all like they took off everything, and I was like, oh fuck, and I mean, I was
That's very European. They'll just drop it.
oh yeah, totally, yeah. I mean, European girls do not care, and anyway, so you know this. You've been to Europe, yeah.
I had a girlfriend when I went to Belgium, but I was only around other
missed
American kids. Like I
opportunity.
didn't stay in a hostel.
Oh, okay. I
Like
see.
I studied abroad in Belgium for a month, and
I
I was around a bunch of other kids from my school. So,
right.
and I had a girlfriend the whole time.
Yeah. I
And
see.
my buddy was saying, "Oh, you go to Europe, the girls will love you." I went to Europe. Nothing. I was a weirdo. I wore a Hawaiian t-shirt and flip-flops. I was walking down the street one day, and everyone was just looking at me, not in a good way,
tourist.
though.
Yeah.
Anyways,
That is a tourist.
I don't know.
No.
I
know what you
haven't
mean.
been there in like a couple of years. I wanted to go to Spain. I wanted to like go back
Dude,
in Spain.
Spain.
I love Spain, and I have
I-
some very good friends in Spain.
I don't know if I want to do it by myself.
Let me know
it's
when-
literally
let me know when you're going.
it's
I'll go.
literally more safe in Europe than it is here and currently in Nashville, and way more safe than it was in Albany where we live.
True.
You can walk the streets, no issues.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you're like, there might be pickpockets in some poor areas, so just be smart. Don't have a thick ass wallet in your back pocket.
You're not likely to get murdered though.
No, they don't really do shit like that. It's
Yeah.
few and far between. You're more likely to, when you're like, if you walk around in Nashville in certain areas, I mean, it's way more safe in Europe. Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't know when I'm gonna do it. Maybe like January.
Dude, I
Fucking run it.
would absolutely love a trip to.
So the thing is when you travel alone,
I'm gonna do it. I will.
when you travel alone, you're more inclined to strike up conversation with random people. If you go with a friend, you kind of can, y'all do your own thing. Y'all can click up, and you're less inclined to just talk to randos. So I always advise people, go by yourself. Like, all the decisions are on your own. So if somebody wants to sleep in and you want to, you just get to like Croatia and you're like, yo, I want to get out. I want to hike the town. I want to see what it has to offer. Let's say you're in Split or you're in Dubrovnik or something. You're like, yo, I want to see the old architecture and stuff. And they're like, oh, I'm going to sleep in. It was a rough night drinking. Whatever. When you're by yourself, do your own thing. If you're hiking with some people and they're being annoying, you can ditch them.
We need more water.
Who fucking cares? Is it boiling?
Let's boil it now. Anywho,
I wonder what percentage of people are traveling alone as opposed to
A lot.
groups.
A lot.
I think like 50% alone. 50%
Well, in hostels, I met a lot of people traveling alone. A lot, and some people were like, oh, I don't know. I'm a girl. I'm traveling alone. Wicked smart.
I didn't know it was in there.
I was talking to a girl.
you
I was
kinda
talking to a girl. She was 20 years old.
Yeah.
And she told me she went to Spain for like a month just by herself.
Yeah.
Like, what
I
the
met tons
hell?
of people who do that. So the thing is
so
you're not
crazy to me. I'm
you're not really
25,
alone very often. So
Yeah.
let's say you get on the plane, right? You're around lots of people.
You started over. We
Yeah.
exceeded an hour. What was I saying? No, you go ahead, Brandon. But I didn't finish my story.
So let me continue and I'll be done.
Yeah.
You had multiple stories to tell. Jake.
I know, I had 3 hostile stories, and I barely finished my first one. And my other 2 were better.
All right, I'm going to continue this up in a second. So we're going to get back on Twitch in a second. Or not Twitch, but...
My third
Live.
hostile
So-
story...
Wait 1 second. So
Wait,
we're talking about
Wait,
people traveling
wait.
alone.
I need 1 sentence. My third hostile story... This is just a spoiler. My third hostile story involves full frontal nudity.
Yes.
So...
We'll
you
get
that at the last
No.
one?
we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Well, but
We'll get to it.
I was squinty-eyed. I didn't want them to
So
know I was awake.
you're rarely ever alone by yourself. So you go on the plane, and then when you come out of the airport, you hire a taxi, or you hire sometimes hostels will have services where they'll pick you up from the airport. Sometimes they do. You get to your hostel. I usually take a bus, and I usually pay $10, $15, whatever. Takes me to my hostel. In the hostel, you're around people all the time. And then, if you decide to walk around, like if you walk around town by yourself, yeah, you're alone. But generally, I meet people along the way, or I hang out in the hostel and buddy up with somebody. We go out drinking at night. You make friends. Very rarely are you ever alone. The streets are usually populated with tons and tons of people. Like, there's people everywhere. Like, there's really not a chance for anything to happen. And people really don't. It's not a thing, really.
Murder. Not a thing, really.
No, it's
You're
common in
more
Europe
unsafe
as it
here
is
in
in
the States.
America, yeah.
So there's
So-
like a global index of how safe countries are, and the U.S. is extremely low compared to
I'm gonna check the water.
pretty much any country in Europe.
Yeah.
Like, pretty much any country you point to on the map of Europe is going to be more safe on the global, like it's like a global safety index or something, compared to the States.
Yeah.
Super safe over there. I slept on the streets in Ireland, no problem.
Slept on the streets?
Yeah, I mean, when I went into a town, everything was booked up. I didn't know that. So
Damn. Yeah, that's scary.
well, that was just me being spontaneous, and
Yeah.
I hopped on a train at like 11 o'clock at night and just fucking went to Dublin, Ireland. I was in Galway and went back to meet up with somebody very late at night, and they had some huge Australia or New Zealand versus Ireland game in Dublin, so everything was booked up. So I literally just hugged my book bag, or actually I had it behind me in some kind of like nook of a store during the night, and completely fine. You don't have problems there. People just aren't really there to fuck with you.
Yeah, shit. Oh, I gotta do that at some point. I'm locked into a 9 to 5 right now.
That's
I
kind of
guess.
why I've stayed. You know, I've had a lot of people when I went. I've been a server for a long time.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty good job in my hometown, and it's not bad here. Some of the servers where I work, they're making $2K or more a week. Like, it's not too shabby. And then, they can just take off whenever they want. If they want, hey, I want 2 weeks off, they can do that. Or if they let their boss know, hey, I'm gonna be gone for 3 months. That's kind of why I've stayed at servers, because I can make decent money and I can kick rocks for a couple months. I'm an extremely frugal person, so I save my money and kick rocks for 2 or 3 months, factor in how much my budget, my expenses are every month, factor that into the cost, go ahead and buy the tickets, and then, have like a surplus of money. Not a lot, but if I was there for 3 months, I factored in probably every hostel was going to cost me, if I on the greater side, $30 a night, and then factor in, maybe go into some sites are going to cost you $7 or $8. If you go into some cathedrals, they might actually charge you to go inside if you're not there to pray.
Yeah.
Museums and such, so food, and just I factored all that in, and even on like my measly server wage, I was able to be there for 3 months and come back and have money and go right back into being a server. So I'm kind of trading time for money. Like, I'm not making crazy amount of money, but I also have a lot of freedom with my time. I can, if today's Monday, if I don't want to work the rest of the week, I can find somebody to schedule my shifts. I won't be making money, but I won't be in trouble with the boss. They don't care. Shifts are covered. We're good.
Yeah.
I just do whatever I want.
Yeah.
You work 4 jobs. You don't do whatever you want.
So for me, I guess the time to do it would be in between jobs when I schedule another job to get lined up with.
Yeah. So just be real frugal, save that shit, and then kick rocks for a bit.
I got money to blow at this point.
Yeah, you're good.
I had a.
But I'm afraid with COVID though, because like some places want you to quarantine. Like I did intense research on it about a month ago when I was really thinking about booking it. But like I don't know if I would fully enjoy it because of COVID restrictions.
So some places, what I've seen is some places they'll require 14 days. Some just require you to have both your shots and a card saying you're COVID free within a certain period before your flight.
Yeah. Spain and Portugal seemed pretty like relaxed with it, but I was looking at Belgium, which I want to go to at some point again.
You've been there.
Yeah,
you want to be there.
But I want to go back. I want to go back because it has such a place in my heart. Like, I'll be damned if I don't go there again before I die. So why not?
You got ton. You're like young as shit. You got plenty of time.
But I just
but death can come at any time.
Anyways, what are your other fucked up hostel stories?
Full frontal nudity. What's his name?
That's the third one, and I'll get to him in a minute.
Oh, is it dude?
It's a funny story. I'll get to that. Okay. It's not. I did not plan on that. Anywho, it does. Anywho.
It was
hostel
great.
Story number 2 is not very interesting. I have 2 more hostel stories in Japan. Two of my coolest friends that I met in any hostel I met in Kyoto, and it was interesting though. Like we met in a bathroom, and they were like, I walked into a bathroom to brush my teeth, and they were just like,
you're at a urinal, and they're like, nice dick, bro.
No. And these 2 girls, they're just like, hi, and I'm just like, yeah. I'm it's like 7 in the morning, and I'm just like trying to brush my teeth, and I'm just like, sup. And I brush my teeth, and then I leave, and I don't see them again, and then like later that night, I'm hanging out in the common area drinking scotch, and they walk in, and they're like, "Oh, it's you. We met in the bathroom." And I was like, "Yeah." And so and turned out we were really good friends. And I went and hung out with. They were from Spain, and then I went and hung out with them in Spain for a while. Damn. And now like I'm still in touch with one of them. And next time I go back to Spain, I might crash at her place. And it's like, but it's the thing is, the cool thing about hostels is you meet people from all over the world, and it's like
you're sharing experiences which connect you really closely.
Right. Now when I want to go to Madrid, I have the perfect tour guide. And
that's a crazy thing. I was in Belgium, and there was a girl going to the bathroom, and I was just going in there to take a piss, but it was so fucked up that we weren't like, I guess maybe not fucked up, over there it's normal, but it was just so mind-blowing that it was a unisex bathroom, and there multiple people could be using it at the same time with different genders. So.
Europe.
Yeah.
So hostel story number 3.
This is the...
Also in Japan, I'm in Tokyo. I'm staying at this hostel, and anywho, like, I find out after I'm checked in that they don't have showers. They only have the onsen. And I'm like, what? The onsen. So that is a community bath.
Oh.
It's just a community bath, and this hostel, I had no idea. I swear I had no idea. I check into the thing. I checked in for like 4 days, so I'm stuck there. You know, this is my second time in Tokyo. Checked in there for 4 days.
I've never even been to Asia.
And it's a good spot.
Not as an adult.
And so I'm checked into this thing, and I'm thinking, I find out like later that night that there's only the onsen, and I'm like, fuck, because I want a shower I don't want to shower with strangers. I don't want to.
You didn't want to
like a group shower.
It's a group shower.
You didn't want to have that dick out.
No. It's basically one big room, and the room has like showers lined in the wall, like a fucking prison. And then it's got like a hot tub that everybody chills in. That's what the onsen actually is. It's like a spring water fed thing, and it's like you see people like sitting in there with like a little towel on their head, and it's actually pretty cool. And there's a sauna. Anyway, so I decide, well, okay, I'm not into the whole public bathing thing necessarily, so I'm gonna go use the thing in the middle of the night and when nobody else is there. And anyway, so I go in and I shower, and I'm like, great, now I'm clean, and I go over to I see the bath, and there's nobody else in there. I'm like, I'm gonna chill for a minute.
Somebody comes out of the water.
Yeah, I mean it looks super cool. So I'm like sitting. So anyway, I as soon as I get relaxed, like I start to doze off a little bit, I'm feeling really fucking comfortable. The water's not clear. Also, it's like almost like
murky, hazy,
like a hazy kind of. Yeah, it's got minerals in it and stuff. So it's, anyway. About the time I get comfortable, some old Japanese dude walks in, and he looks at me, and he's like, "Oh, you are American," and I'm like, "Oh fuck," and like he immediately takes off all his clothes. I'm like, "Oh god, why?" And he walks up.
Did he windmill?
No, you might as well have though. He walks up.
It's like, come by.
He walks into the bath and sits 2 feet across from me, spread eagle, and like, god damn it, and it's just normal to him to have this kind of behavior. And I'm just like, but all I really wanted was to sit and relax with that. I don't know. It was awkward. It was really awkward. And so I was just like, dude, I'm gonna go chill in the sauna. So I get up and I go to the sauna, and I'm just like, fuck that. And then in the sauna, there was 2 girls. And I was just like, hi.
Oh.
And anyway, yeah, it was a whole really awkward thing.
Your water is boiling.
Yeah, let's
Grazie.
bring that in.
I was reading in this book
Gentlemen,
today.
you guys hold down the conversation for a moment. I'm going to make the pour over in there, because if I pour it out of the pot, it'll be a little bit easier to get this right.
I was reading in the same book today that Japan has a problem with all the young people. They don't want to have sex.
Yeah,
a lot of them are very single. Like there's this.
Japan is on the decline. They're not producing enough to maintain their to maintain Japan.
Yeah,
honestly.
but there's a thing where the book listed a statistic too. It's like a third of men aged 0 to 30 have never dated. They're or they've just been single ever since they were 30, essentially. Some crazy shit like that. But...
Well, I mean, there's some strange cultural kind of things in Japan that make the men extremely, docile compared to, Americans. In the South where I'm from, a guy will just walk up to a girl and be like, "What's up? You're hot as shit. What's going on? What you doing later?" They'll be really kind of, that's aggressive. That's not, rapey aggressive, but it's on the spectrum. It's there, and they just don't have that there. Guys just aren't. There's not enough couples. There's not enough reproducing there to maintain their culture and maintain their civilization. So, hopefully they get that figured out. The Japanese guys are very docile, and the women aren't going to be aggressive about it. So
in India, I think, or maybe China for that matter. It's one of these big countries, though. There's a problem where there just aren't enough women either, and there's a lot of guys that just have no opportunity.
Sounds like Alaska. Just tons of men, not enough women.
It's one of these big ass countries, though. It's a big problem, and it makes you glad to
Yeah.
Being
To have had
fuck.
Tinder and
Being the bachelor.
Hinge and Bumble and all that jazz and
Yeah.
fucking OK Cupid and fucking what's some of the other like older school ones?
eHarmony.
eHarmony,
shit like that.
yeah.
But the thing is that it's a facade to some extent.
Oh yeah.
Like
you show them what you want them to see.
Yeah, that's what social media is. In my opinion, I don't have Facebook or Instagram, and hardly even a Snapchat at this point.
I mean, I do it just to kind of like I do the show and I connect with you guys,
Yeah.
and that's kind of why I keep it.
I would have one for that purpose, but I like get addicted to like looking people up that I used to know,
And see what they're up to, and
like my ex-girlfriend, like just out of curiosity. It's bad, but it's like it's curiosity is what it is. Like I'm over her, but it's just like it's not really the question I ask myself because I know I am, but it's just like curiosity. It's anyone. It's my cousins. It's my close friends. Like
so it's like you get rid of it just to.
it's a drug. And I haven't totally deleted my Facebook, actually. I reactivate it and deactivate it once a week to look someone up. I don't like having easy access to it, but when I deactivate it, it makes like another step before I have to like get it back on.
Yeah,
again.
that makes sense.
And I also don't like people looking me up as much either.
You have a unique name, so it's kind of easy to find.
I know,
you.
I'm very easy to Google.
Like my brother is Jonathan Smith. So he's you can't find him. My name's Brandon Smith. So good luck trying to find it on Facebook.
Right.
It's a curse, but it's also a benefit. I had to create a moniker, which is Bummio. I've had that since I was in like high school, maybe even middle school, like a Bum Romeo. And that's kind of like been my moniker for a little while.
Yeah.
But I kind of keep Facebook. There's a couple people, like family members that I don't have a chance to really connect with. I live in a different town than them, or a different state, or even some of them are out of the country. So it's nice to be able to connect with them, send them a happy birthday, or see what they're up to. Especially with the show, that I can connect with you guys, and you guys can tune in on the show even if it's 5 minutes. I still love it regardless. 2-hour show, it's not realistic to think that people are going to stay on here for 2 hours, but to have somebody, maybe listening to it while they brush their teeth, or, while they're sitting around the house, like maybe replacing a podcast, people kind of tune in and out. So that's basically kind of why I keep it. I don't really check on exes and stuff. I don't know. I'm very decisive kind of person. Not saying you aren't, but like whenever I'm done, I'm kind of done. So I don't really like keep track of what they're up to, or
Stay friends with them, or keeping slight minimal contact once a year. Happy Merry Christmas.
I don't really. There's not really enough of them that are really super important to me to really keep in too much contact. I don't know. I haven't really had a lot of like significant romances. Just a handful, and the other ones were just kind of, flings or whatever. And I'll see them on Facebook or whatever, but I don't seek them out to see what they're up to. They just kind of pop up in the feed, and I'm like, oh, okay, they went to Disney World, cool.
Yeah, it's just that's why I say it's mostly curiosity for me. I mean, I'll look up anyone I'm curious about. Because you can. We live in this age where, literally everyone has an online presence. And if you don't, well, it's like...
You're kind of an odd bird.
Yeah, a little bit.
But, I mean, it's kind of a facade. You're showing what you want people to see. So if you want people to think that you're like a nature lover, world traveler, music kind of guy, but you do it like, in my case, like, I don't travel near as much as I'd like, or... do the things that I want to do. So, I'll do these posts and stuff, and it's stuff that brings me joy, but it's not stuff that I actively am a part of. So anybody just kind of viewing it from a distance, I don't know, it's kind of creating a facade, or it's keep showing something. It's not necessarily 100%. Even on something like Bumble or Tinder, girls, guys, whatever you identify, you're going to post the pictures that make you look in the best light, and you're going to post things that make you seem more attractive to whoever you're seeking out. And it's up to you after the date to establish, what of that is actually true.
Yeah.
You might see all these beautiful photos and go on a date with somebody and they're fucking look nothing like their photos, or they might say that they're into something and you talk about it a little bit and you realize that that was just something that they posted to kind of bring some people in.
Yeah, I had an Instagram for a bit. I posted pictures of abandoned buildings because I like to explore abandoned buildings.
Yeah, no, I dig it.
There's not a lot here in Nashville, though. Nashville's too new and upcoming, but I lived in New Orleans for 6 years, and
there's a lot there.
Yeah, Katrina fucked a lot of shit up, so there's a lot of abandoned buildings down there.
Well, even where I used to live in Albany, outside of that, it's Dawson, Georgia, and there's just tons of small towns, and you'll find houses that nobody's lived in for 100 years.
Yeah,
you'll find tons of houses like that where just either people just got the fuck up and left, or it's just like a shell of a house that's, like I said, nobody's lived there for 100 years or even older than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe not Nashville, but one of the good things about living here is that it's not too far away from it. Like, we went up to the Smokies and there's tons of abandoned ass shit up there. Yeah. All within range. We're within a 3 to 5 hour drive of tons of different, even states.
The other thing in this book is that it's a book called Modern Romance.
The book about Tinder and stuff. Gotcha.
Yeah, Tinder, about people in general. It's saying if you go on a date with a girl, do something interesting. So, something I'm guilty of is, let's get a drink. Because alcohol is a social lubricant,
Yeah.
It's better than, movies, for that matter.
Yeah, movies you can kind of zonk out on, and you don't really have too much interaction between each other.
I want to go explore an abandoned building on a date. That's a good idea. It's something interesting, something dangerous. So
they're not too close.
Yeah, there is a town out in between here and Knoxville or Chattanooga, but it's like a ghost town. I've always wanted to check it out, and I was gonna take this girl to see it, and I didn't, and maybe that's why she lost interest.
Like Jake was saying, and I've done this before, just fucking go on a hike together. Don't do some super touristy fucking Stone Mountain or any of that stuff in North Georgia, or these things where you're gonna have just tons and tons of people, touristy places. But there's tons of other hikes around that you can just, you and them just go out, grab a couple beers, drink them along the way, kind of chit chat, stop places and talk, and it's just you and them. You're not having to dodge some granny with a cane that's walking by, or some dude with his kids and dogs. It's just you guys having a conversation. You can kind of be real. Yeah. There's not a movie to distract you. There's tons of nature, all within range.
That's what I like about Nashville. New Orleans, not so much. It was just swamp.
Yeah. You want to see a gator? I'll show you a gator. Tons of gators.
Yeah.
I mean, if you knew somebody who had one of those boats, what are they called? The
swamp boats?
Yeah, the big fan on them.
Yeah.
If you had somebody with one of those, but I mean, you can't really have a lot of conversation on that thing unless you just stop it for a second and just kind of chat.
Yeah.
But it could be an experience, especially if they're not, new to the area.
Yeah.
We get a lot of bridesmaids here in Nashville. It's like the bridesmaids capital.
Yeah.
So you go downtown and, it's just a fucking shit show of bridesmaids. Fucking pink cowboy hats and pink cowboy boots and bridesmaid sashes. Annoying buses.
Yeah, I like it. Would you rather a place that didn't have that and had no tourists, No, I wouldn't.
Well, I mean, as a server, it's nice that they come in there because, the food is, where I work, the food is expensive. So people generally tip according to how much their bill is, and the more expensive the food is, the more, it's commission at that point. But
this one turned out good.
But I don't
brewed right.
I don't really like going anywhere near downtown or dealing with the parking or dealing with the tourist. Anytime I have somebody visit town and they're like, "Oh, I want to go downtown," I'm like, "Fuck."
Yeah, no, I hate going downtown. I hate dealing with annoying, loud, drunk people, in mass.
That's what the downtown
and yet
area
we're
is.
friends.
Yeah.
Explain that.
Well, So the thing is, like, I grew up in the middle of nowhere, so for me, it's like I like having the option of, a little, if I want to, just change it up a bit.
I assume you don't want much. So
This is the Barista Parlor one, correct?
Yeah, Barista Parlor.
Let me let me get that box.
Yeah. So these guys roast their own stuff. They're real famous in Nashville as one of the top third wave
Getica Hills. It's a Yamagata
coffee shops.
Rwanda. Flavor notes will be tangerine, oolong tea, and marzipan.
This one looks like it really, really brewed well compared to the last one because I was able to pour it way better in there.
I'm trying to put a shadow on there so people.
The color's right. It's gonna be good. I'm excited. I'm gonna get some coffee sweats in a minute. Cheers, y'all.
It's kind of like the meat sweats.
Meat sweats, coffee
Gross.
sweats. So, I'm glad that you came on tonight, Starrett, because I don't know. It's rare that I have
I went off.
Yeah.
That's more my vibe.
Left you a voicemail and everything, and then.
You left me a voicemail?
Yeah, I think so. I was at Percy Priest Lake and I was stewing for about 2 hours.
Stewing
I was
as in like
working
just
at
piss
Think
off
This
or
Fair.
just thinking?
No, I was thinking really hard.
Ooh, that's fucking good. That turned out great.
I don't know. I took 2 Sudafed and drank a cup of coffee and
yeah.
I was like, what am I gonna do? I just have. I don't know. Maybe it's.
So I want to take our show to more places. This one anyway, and one of the things that when you texted me the other day, I liked your idea, and I thought that's something that's kind of in the category of what I sort of want to do in the future with some of the stuff we do, Brandon. One of the things I've been interested in is I would really like to take our dialogue and edit it down and maybe turn it into some sort of podcast dialogue, because I think if we edit out all of our unnecessary nonsense and only leave in our necessary nonsense, then then we could be pretty funny, pretty engaging, and have a really well put together thing. And it just takes a little bit of legwork on the editing. And
You don't know how to edit.
No, but I can learn. And I mean, the point is, we end up with all this great dialogue at the end of a show. We've got 2 or 3 hours of material. And, 2 hours out of 3 hours is nonsense. An hour out of it is great and very listenable, I think. And all we have to do is take what we like, put it together,
Well,
and
honestly,
go back and maybe record some
think
stuff to add to it.
what we need, I need a printer, I need paper, and then we need to actually work up, not maybe like an actual script, but maybe like a flow chart of the actual conversation. Because we're kind of all over the place. We've talked about everything about the book, about Tinder. We've talked about travel. We've talked about beer. We talked about coffee, and we've talked about a lot of stuff. It's kind of all over the place. I think for a show to be, I think it needs to be cohesive. It all kinds of needs to work together.
Right.
There are some shows that don't. I fuck with Tim Ferriss. He's a smart dude. And he does interviews, and he's kind of like me. He's kind of ADHD, and his conversations work.
I know that guy.
They kind of go all over the place, but he's already established. He can do that. So people already know who he is, and they'll listen because he
is who he is.
Yeah. So, but for like new people like us, that it might be going all over the place, and I'm like, fuck, I wanted to hear more about this book and about Tinder and about Japan not procreating enough, or I wanted to know more about hostels.
That's why
we need to have some cohesive kind of
that's what I'm saying.
flow chart.
We need to. Once I've got some more free time, which is coming, but maybe I don't know when, but soon I'm gonna be free of my morning job and reclaim 40 hours of my week.
Mondays will be for the boys, and we will get the show together, and we're gonna do some upgrades up here.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, big stuff. I hope. I really want to get it together, and we may not ever have a big crowd of people watching us, but we can be, I think we can be among the best at this kind of thing. You know what I mean? We're funny people. We're engaging. We have interesting ideas. I think, you know, and if we put the necessary work into making this stuff as, you know, flow as well as it can and be as interesting as it can,
Right.
then, you know, I mean, why wouldn't we have good stuff?
Yeah. Well, I think that we have to 100% it, or like, you know, put full in it. You know, if we half-ass it, we're only going to get a half-ass return.
Exactly. So the point is, I'm looking forward to more free time to do it, and what I want to start doing is listening to this after the show the next day, and then maybe pick it apart, take the dialogue that I like, and you know, put it together in a way that's interesting. And maybe next week we go back and record some additional stuff, just, you know, something that's more scripted, that's based on what we did last week.
Yeah.
And you know, add to it a little bit to make it make more sense, to make it more interesting or funny or something.
Right.
And then we have a finished thing that's done, that we've really put some thought into and some work into, and it's got all of our impromptu nonsense that we're good at.
Yeah. The banter.
Right. And one of the things I'd like to do is do some video stuff too. And so you messaged me about the chess things, Derek, and I was like, that's a fucking great idea, because...
Was it you and Ty that did the chess show?
Oh, yeah, we did me and Ty did a chess show once. So it was me and Ty set up just like this, and we streamed it to Twitch, Facebook, and Instagram. We used Restream even. I mean, we did it the same way. And...
you guys just played chess. You were getting your ass whooped.
Oh, dude. So Ty always wins, but like we had the chess shot glasses where all the pieces are a half ounce of tequila, and
Whose idea was it to put it on video?
it was me and Ty's.
So what I think would have been better for the
I
show.
like those videos. I've seen some
Yeah,
of
but
these videos.
Scotch would have sucked, Brandon.
No, not Scotch. What I think would have been a better idea is more important pieces have a stronger value of alcohol.
Yeah.
So like
that
if somebody
would've made more
takes
sense, but-
takes your, you know, like what's besides the most important piece? What's the second most important piece?
The king was the queen. The king was a full 2 ounce shot.
So
I ended up taking the most frustrating thing about that is I was like, Ty, this is a great idea. I got to be on an airplane tomorrow morning. I love this idea, but I got to be on an airplane at 7 a.m. So look, let's play a few games and then cut it short and be I want to be home by 11. And he was like, okay, no problem. And anyway, we ended up playing until about 1, and I'm like, dude, we drank 2/3 of a bottle of tequila.
I just think
and it was 10% of it was you, because I keep losing.
I think as the importance of the piece is, the higher the ABV, the alcohol content of the shot goes.
Fucked up.
So they take out a good
from his house to the airport.
They take out a knight or they take out a rook or something like that. Then you know it's a little bit stronger. You might have a whiskey, a scotch, a bourbon. You might have something like that. And then, you know, if they take out your strongest, you'll have something like Everclear, something just really like make it miserable, like make it hurt.
So, listen.
Maybe beer or like a liqueur as a pawn, something a little on the lighter side.
This is.
But we'll get to it, Jake.
Okay.
As it goes further, you know that the chess, it's not so much about chess. It's about like each of you kind of trying to overcome your intoxicity, like to go to the next step or to like make it where you're not the drunkest person.
So
you know, there's like an advantage in taking out certain pieces.
I actually nearly won the last game. We played 3 games that night, and the way it worked was losing your king is a 2 ounce shot, losing the game is a 2 ounce shot. So, you know, obviously, that means 2 shots in a row if you lose.
It kind of changes the strategy though. So if you're like, okay, I can take out this pawn, and they'll have to take something really strong, and in return they'll take out a pawn, but they just took a lot stronger alcohol, so I've got a bit of an advantage.
That was my strategy. So I know that I can outdrink. I mean, well, I'm a lightweight because I'm lightweight, but I'm a very skilled drinker. But well, I mean the point is I can rally. Like I mean I can drink for about as long as anybody, and Ty, you know, is a drinker, but I would drink him under the table, no problem. Also, he's the same weight as me. So my strategy was like, I know I can outdrink you, so I'm gonna trade pieces every time and get you fucked up first, and then when you get drunk, I'm going to start winning. That was my idea. And so I like lost the first game just trying to make him take as many drinks as possible. And then game 2, Ty was a little bit drunk, and I got closer to winning. And, we kind of ended up drinking everything on the table. And it was like, fuck. But I still lost. And then game number 3, Ty was definitely drunk. I was also definitely drunk. And we ended up drinking everything. And at the end of it, Ty won the third time, too.
After a while, y'all just forgot it was chess, and y'all were like, shot, cheers.
Yeah. No, kind of.
Another shot. Hell yeah, cheers.
Kind of. Anyway, long story short, it's like by the time, we're off the air at like 1, and it's like, fuck, that was insane. I ended up hanging out there until at least 4 a.m. Had to be at the airport at 6 to be on a 7 a.m. flight. And I get to the airport, and when I get on the airplane, the flight attendant is like, "Sir, are you drunk?" At 6 a.m. And I'm just like, "I'm not drunk."
You're drunk.
You're drunk. And I've never felt more like an alcoholic.
Well, hey, I think it would be a cool idea to do a chess sort of video.
I think so too.
Or maybe compress it into a solid 5 minutes of. See me, I guess my emphasis isn't on the chess, but more so on some jokes or anything antics. But chess. And the chess is it's like Hot Ones, where they're not really. Wait, maybe that's a bad comparison, but the point is that I want it to be about a conversation or about making a joke or about drinking a cup of coffee or drinking a beer you really like. And the chess is like the side.
That's essentially what this show is. Like the interview is first and the beer is more so second. But the beer is a lubricant for conversation. As you drink more beer, so if I have on like a blacksmith or like a guitar builder on the show and we're talking, at first they might be a bit apprehensive. They see themselves here, there's cameras, there's lights. It might be a bit much, but by like beer 3 or beer 4, we're talking about existential shit. We're talking about conspiracy theories. We're talking about just goofy shit. And the personality can come out and the conversation can go a little bit beyond where their actual skill is. And we kind of taper back to that from time to time. But that's one of the things I do like about the show as compared to Hot Ones, which I fucking love Hot Ones. It's cool to see, people like Jeff Goldblum and Jack Black and stuff like super, eating hot wings and then being in an uncomfortable spot. And that's kind of like what this show is. It's not, we didn't base our show around it, but I definitely would say it was some inspiration. Like I would say, hey, this show's kind of like, our show's kind of like Hot Ones when you think about it. And then, looking at kind of what he does, but in comparison to Hot Ones, that guy goes in, there's very little on his side of improv. He's had this all planned out conversation wise, how the questions he's going to ask, and he's done like fuck tons of research and he's done all of this stuff on it, which we generally don't do, which we could do in the future.
Well, the other thing is that we're not interviewing famous ass people. We're filming regular people.
It's because you're not famous yet.
But but if you're interviewing a blacksmith, like I said, you can talk about like the origins of blacksmithing, archaeological finds of like early. Hold on, don't distract me. Early archaeological discoveries of blacksmiths and metalworks and like movie representations of blacksmiths. Like you have so much to go off of, and there's a lot of research that you can do on just blacksmithing in general, and that applies to pretty much anybody who comes on it as a skilled person, whether it's bow building or paranormal investigating. Like some of it's been no matter who we have on, like a falconeer, we can even talk about. We've had a falconeer on with big hawks and stuff, but how it's represented in media and how you get into it, and
so let me hit the floor for a minute.
Always some research you can do to get into it.
Okay. So we've got one more beer and one more coffee, and so this is our last beer of the night, and it's from one of my favorite breweries in the world, Orpheus Brewing out of Atlanta. We're both from Georgia. We've had a lot of Orpheus beers.
It's good brewery. Brewery.
Orpheus, to me, they put out some of the best sours in the world. This is a stout, but my experience was every time I went to the brewery, I'd go there, drink a few sours, and I really, really liked them, and then I would have the stouts, and the stouts were just over the top fucking crazy. Like usually it's like 14% ABV, barrel aged with coffee, vanilla, blueberries, and goat cheese. Something insane like that. It had so much going on that I really, and they were always sweet no matter what it was. And so I really loved their sours. I was never a huge fan of their stouts, but they always had a lot of good flavors going on.
That one actually, at the place I got it from, Main Street Liquors, they were like, bro, they're like, that Orpheus, so good. He stopped me and was like, bro, that beer is really good. I was
reading up on this a minute ago, and I'm actually really excited for it. And Orpheus stouts are kind of unique because they're just so over the top that
let's show it off. Continue talking.
Yeah. So this is Eye of the Beholden from Orpheus.
Okay, bring it over to that camera. Beautiful. I probably should turn the autofocus back on, but
it's all right. Eye of the Beholden from Orpheus. So it's an imperial stout with coffee, cocoa nibs, and vanilla. And I like that it's only those three things because I always felt like they were over the top on a lot of the stuff.
Sometimes
it's also only 10% ABV.
When you look at a beer even like this, not that we're talking shit about Evil Twin Brewing, but when you have like 15 ingredients in there, it's hard to pull individuals out. Or even like this Southern Grist, which Southern Grist makes good beer. It's hard to pull individuals out, but when you have a super simplistic beer, you can pull on everything in it. You're like, oh, coconut, dude, I'm getting that. Like just the 2 seconds that I pull it to my nose while I was just talking, it's just straight chocolate.
Yeah, it smells sweet. It smells like chocolate. I smell a lot of vanilla in it. This reminds me actually kind of a lot of what like vintage stouts sort of turn into, where the sweetness really comes out of the sugars. But
I like Guinness.
Guinness is good.
I have a Guinness in Ireland.
I'm a big fan.
It tastes the same.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
I have one in the airport.
You had one at the airport, but you didn't have one at an actual place in Ireland.
Okay, that's good. It's like vanilla syrup.
You're not supposed to drink it with us, you fucking cuck.
Cheers, bitches. Slanche.
You said this was what percentage?
10%.
10%.
So cocoa nibs, vanilla, and coffee. I get the vanilla in I get 9 parts vanilla.
What's boozy
and
boy?
0.5 coffee and 0.5 cocoa.
It's sweet.
Really, actually, no, the cocoa and the vanilla come through. To me, it's like drinking a cold alcoholic hot chocolate.
It's alright.
It's not your style?
It's thick and syrupy.
What's your style of beer that you like a lot?
So I'll tell you what, if I want something higher than 5 or 6% alcohol, I like my Belgian beers, and I like Duvel.
I love Duvel. Dude,
it's like a blonde. It's a blonde beer, but it's like 8.5%.
Dude,
but I have the chalice for it. I actually have a beer glass collection. I have about 10 glasses.
You should see ours.
Really?
Yeah, dude. So Belgians are one of my all-time favorite things.
That's where Delirium Tremens comes out of there, right?
Yeah.
Those are the only high alcohol percent beers I actually like.
That's their
I'm a really
famous
big
one.
fan of. I'm a really big fan of Chimay.
I like Chimay too.
And Duvel is actually probably top 5 for me.
I like Duvel better.
Yeah, I think I do too.
I like the bottle. The bottle has art on it.
The thing with
you
Duvel,
turn around, they have such intricate art.
Like the Duvel you can get here.
For me, that's big.
The Duvel you can get here is almost got sour notes to it.
Really? You think it tastes different?
No, I think it tastes a lot like a sour beer.
If we don't make it in
it has
States,
that active yeast kind of flavor.
If we don't make it in the States, it's got to make it on a plane or a boat to get here. So there's some transportation that goes into getting it here. That's going to affect the process.
Yeah,
the final product.
They might also make it in Baltimore or somewhere.
Do you know why?
It's a Belgian beer, but I think they might also make it.
Yeah,
also in the States.
It's the same thing.
I know whenever I go to Ireland, we talked about this earlier. When I go to Ireland, and it could be 100% environment that is affecting my flavor. Just like the enriching experience. You're hearing an Irish band play some annoying song like Wagon Wheel, but they're doing it super Irish, and everybody's got a fucking beer in their hand, and the environment is enriching everything. It could be, but I honestly didn't like Guinness until I went to Ireland. I had it in the States.
It's not a stout, really, but
I had it in the States, and I was like, "Oh, this is okay." And then that's kind of my only option for the most part. When I first got to Ireland, most of the bars, that was kind of like what they pushed because tourism. And I was like, yo, I fuck with this hard. And after a while being in Ireland, I kind of moved off to other beers, but I still kind of had a sweet spot
Tell
for
me your story about. I love one of my favorite stories that you tell is when you went to Newcastle and you were like, "Hey, I'd love to have a Newcastle," and they were like, "Oh, we did away with that, man. I've got a beer for you. Coors Light.
No,
that's what we drink here now." Tell the story.
It's way off.
Okay.
I was in Galway, Ireland,
okay.
and I was hanging out with a guy named, his name is Brian, but he goes by the name Bam. He's a Jamaican guy who lives in Ireland. He lives only in hostels. He plays a mixture of Irish folk songs mixed with African field haulers, like the slave haulers.
Weird.
But for some reason, they really, really work together. So I was with Brian. I met him at a hostel, Bam. And then I was hanging out with this Dutch girl, and we were at this kind of nicer bar place. We were at the nice bar, and I was like, oh, I want to try something different, I'm getting tired of Guinness. I've had it. I've been having it for, I think this is like my third or fourth trip to Ireland. I was like, I want to try something different. He's like, oh, man, I've got something special for you. It's a treat. He's like, imported all the way from Boston. Samuel Adams Boston Lager. And I was like, I'll pass on that.
I love Sam Adams. Man.
I'll have a Guinness. Yes, but I'm in Galway, Ireland, and this guy's trying to, which I get it, it's an import. Like whenever I was in the beer gardens in Dublin and in Galway, surprisingly, a lot of Irish people were drinking light beer. They're drinking Coors Light. They're drinking.
Really?
Yeah.
All the American
they were
ones.
drinking Coronas. They were drinking Heineken.
You son of a bitch.
They were tearing those up and they're like, "Oh, they're so good." And I was like, "No." But what's funny though is like Stella here is not complete trash.
Yeah.
It's not complete gutter trash.
Stella is.
I would choose.
Belgium.
I would have
tastes different. Actually.
I would have a Stella over a Bud Light or anything like that.
Yeah.
But over there, Stella is gutter trash. Like you can buy it in a 2-liter, like what you would have a Dr. Pepper in. You can buy that, or like Strongbow.
Like it's gas station beer.
Dude,
Strongbow cider. You can buy that in a 2-liter, and that's swill. If you're just really balling on a budget.
You keep vetoing it, but please change your mind. I've always said I would absolutely love to have a bum drunk night where we drink like Thunderbird and malt liquor.
We would have to have Viv on the show.
Like
to do
literally,
that.
just like yep. We bought all 6 of these for less than $5.
I was gonna do Edward 40 hands on Halloween.
Oh,
I've never done it before.
We have to Edward 40 hands.
I missed out on that.
And we have to trug a Four Loco. That's.
I always had.
I want to have a night like that.
I mean, I went to college and shit, but I never did Edward 40 hands. I feel like I missed out.
I did that once. My mom was.
I could do it. I could drink 2
So
40s.
I'll tell you guys
no doubt
college.
Why would you
guys
want
to hear a college Jake story?
What's the question?
Let's hear it, Jake.
All right, this
He's excited. You see the excitement. You guys see it?
Yeah, this was fun. So me and some friends back in college. This is back when you knew me in college, but I didn't invite you to this party because I thought you were lame.
Oh, heard.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. I mean, I changed my mind later, but anyway. So me and some friends, we decided, man, we need a really good reason to throw a party on Saturday. We like Googled like historic events for that Saturday. It was like, oh, it was JFK's birthday party. Great, we're gonna throw a JFK birthday party. And so we did a party with we had champagne.
There was a guy that had like just explosion coming out the back of his head.
Hang on.
He had a bullet.
I'm getting to that. I'll get to that in a minute.
Heard.
Actually. So we had like a charcuterie board. We had champagne lined up. We did shrimp cocktails. We got fancy. Everybody came dressed up. But it turned completely fucking wacky by the end of the night because everybody drank too much, and we all ended up doing dumb shit. And I woke up in a treehouse the next day. And anyway, we didn't clean stuff very well. And this was at my mom's house because I was only like 20. And Anyway, and my mom and anyway, my mom got back and was real mad, and like apparently like somebody left a bunch of condoms in her bed, which wasn't cool.
These things do happen.
Yeah,
these things do happen.
I don't know. Obviously she's a little bit angry about that.
Did she get over it?
She got over it. She got over it. I think. I don't know. She might still hold it against me. But the party was a slamming success. We all had a good time. And 3 months later, we had a JFK assassination party. I'm not even kidding. We really did. I mean, which is basically the same thing. It's just we were celebrating the assassination. It's kind of dark.
I've never been good at throwing parties, but I'm better at going to parties and making them better, I think. Maybe that's just in my head. I'm not good at starting things. I'm better at joining them and making them better. That's what my fortune cookie told me about 20 years ago. And
so
I've taken it to heart. I believe that's my destiny at some point, is to ultimately hop on something that I didn't start. I can't start things, but I think I can maybe be the guy to improve.
Yes.
Just kind of adding to it. What?
I'm going to brew our final coffee.
Okay.
You guys finish your beer and chill.
Let's see if
I hold this conversation down.
I had another filter.
All right, guys.
Where'd you go to school again?
We went to school together. We met
University of
in
Georgia?
college. No.
Georgia Tech?
No.
We met in college.
No.
Brandon, tell this.
It was only Georgia something.
No, it was called. There's a fuck ton of colleges. So, we were at Darton College. Shout out Darton College. You don't exist anymore. That's a big D.
You don't exist?
No. So Albany State University bought them out, or just, kind of consumed them. So it was Albany State University. But yeah, we went to Darton together. I had a class with Jake, and he was that guy who kind of like slept through most of the class, and I think the guy's name was Dr. Barker. Super cool guy, but he was like a proponent for chaos theory as far as literature goes, or I guess psychology goes as well.
What's chaos theory?
It's like kind of like he used it more so as far as like in a racial way. So like grandparents being treated some way, or like great grandparents, ancestors. Slaves being treated a certain way, and it's kind of just like inherited hatred and inherited like trauma that kind of just comes along the line, and how it's represented in literature.
Okay.
So he's one of the big proponents of that. I don't know if I really explained it right, Dr. Barker. You're not watching, but maybe you could chime in. Yeah. But yeah, so Jake was in that class with me, and I'd be like, "Hey Jake, are you ready for that paper that's due today?" And he's like, "Fuck. What? Paper?" And I was like, "Yeah, there's a paper due today." And he would just kind of like bullshit a fucking paper last minute. But the teacher, like, he was a cool guy, and Jake would get by on the skin of his teeth, and somehow he still made a decent grade in the class, but he kind of bullshitted his way through it. Cool teacher though. Very unique guy. He was like a bodybuilder and doing all kinds of crazy shit to get as big as possible before he was a teacher. Hated reading, hated literature.
He did?
Yeah. He was kind of like really good at math. And then he almost died. He actually did die for a bit. They brought him back to life. And when he said he came back to life, like English somehow just stuck with him. And writing and literature and just all of that just kind of really stuck with him. And
how did he almost die? Steroids?
I think it's something dealing with his heart, yeah. And so he ended up getting his doctorate, and now he's a professor at college. Completely different than what he's like, dude, I had no fucking skill at writing, or I hated it. And then he's...
I couldn't write a paper ever in my life. The only way I got through undergrad was I paid people to write my papers for me.
We'll cut that out later.
Yeah, doesn't matter to me. I got through college by cheating, essentially. I mean, I know what I'm good at.
Yeah.
I did accounting and business.
You know your strengths, yeah.
But anyways,
I think it's how school should be. You play into your strengths.
I identify with that guy a bit. Well, just the fact that I'm better at writing now. I can kind of write, but I have like 2 people look at my shit before I turn it in. But a big thing, I think, cater to your strengths. And I guess I was reading the other day, well, Joe Rogan was saying this on his podcast.
I fuck with him.
Censor that out if you want. Anyways,
No, I fuck with him.
they were talking about brain damage and how sometimes people who get brain damage, it's literally
Like it resets it all.
a big change in their life, and they're
Yeah.
better at certain things, and they pick up new skills.
So there's something that I have my eye on, and it's weird enough. I think it'd be a great idea for a show, and it could even be a movie. But honestly enough, it came to me in a dream. And usually my dreams are just fucking all over the place. One second I'll be here doing this, the next second a fucking elephant comes in the room. Like it's hodgepodge. It's just a mix of stuff. But this one was like pinpoint fucking like cohesive. It just kind of kept going and going, and like it was all worked together. And it was so funny that I woke up, I remembered it all, I wrote it down, I started messaging people about it. And long story short, I want to do this show. I think it's a great idea, but I'm horrible at writing. I thought about doing storyboards for it and like sketching out the characters, but I haven't done any of that in forever. Like drawing, and I used to be an art guy, like artsy. I don't know that I could do any of that, but I want to make strides to make it happen. It's just I don't have skills to go about doing it, and I don't really know who to really get in contact. Fuck was that? Did you hear that?
I heard that. I think it was the TV. Probably something on TV. They're probably watching TV if I had to guess.
Heard. But yeah, it's just something that I want to create, but I just don't know that anybody would have the same vision as me to make sure it's done in the right way. That's kind of the tricky thing. And I don't want it to become, I don't want anybody else to kind of pick it up. I've talked about it on the show a couple times, but I try to be somewhat loose with it just in case.
I think ultimately that's what life is. That's what I've been thinking about this whole week, is that I might not get known for being a rapper like I want to, but maybe I'm known for something else that I'm good at. But
yeah,
that's what life is, compromise. Maybe that's not a good word to use.
Well, I just feel like
something you don't know it is.
No, and I feel like maybe like people are drawn into something, and let's say that they're, really, really on this, and maybe it doesn't really nothing really comes from this like they want it to, but they get the skills or meet the right person that kind of leads them on this way. That it's kind of the journey.
Yeah,
is kind of like the biggest thing that I don't know. Like getting back to traveling and kind of like playing it into what we're talking about. I'd been dating like most of my life, kind of just with somebody, like filling that gap. And when I became single, I kind of learned to just be good at being alone and being, enjoying my own company. And I always wanted to travel, but it was always something that seemed so far out there. I think I guess I thought I had to be like super wealthy, or, it's really something that's just for the wealthy to be able to do this. You see people like taking Instagram photos on yachts and shit like that. And I was just, I don't know. I was very decisive, and I just fucking hopped on it. And then just that experience alone has kind of changed my whole, what I wanted to do and what my ultimate interests were. Like, honestly, like before I started traveling, I was a huge fucking like weeaboo, like not talking shit about anybody out there who likes anime real hard, but I was really big into anime, and I was really big into like video games, tons and tons of consoles, and collecting, and I fucking had it all. And I collected like unopened figures, and I got collectibles, and
really
I had just tons of this stuff that was kind of like what my interests were, with traveling on the back burner. And once I went on my first trip and I was decisive, and I just said, fucking do it. Just buy the ticket, fill the gaps in later. Buy it 6 months in advance. Cool. Your ticket is bought. Now you have 6 months to fucking get ready. It's paid for. Fucking do it. I didn't know what I was doing, so it cost me almost $1,000 for my first ticket. Now I can get there for probably $350, $400. But
yeah.
I was decisive and just went ahead and got it. And honestly, when I came back from my trip, I had games and stuff that I had kind of bought and were on reservation, and I was going to play them when I got back. But my whole mentality had kind of changed that I never really beat any of the games and really played them much that were sitting there waiting for me when I got home. Games that had just released. I wasn't in that mentality. It kind of led me and veered me off a different path, and my interests and my goals and everything kind of changed. It's just strange how life is. You put so much time into something, so much thought into something, and one experience alone can just fucking set it like that, and you're on a different path.
How long ago was that when you did that big old trip?
So my first trip was 2015, which, I mean, that's been a good bit. That's been, 6 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my first trip. And then, I got completely obsessed. I was like, okay, I've been in Europe for 3 months. This is as long as I can be without a visa, 90 days. I get back to my hometown and I'm like, cool, I'm getting ready for my next trip. And I started saving and saving. I was extremely frugal. I was like, I can have this beer in my hometown, or I can have this beer in whatever country I'm in. Like, I kind of equated everything to that. I could buy this, or that would get me 4 nights in a hostel. Well, which would I rather have? At this restaurant where I'm going to shit it out, the next day, the food I just spent $60 on, or I can, that'll get me 3 nights in a hostel. So it changed my ideology. It just changed me altogether. That was the first trip. And then I started planning for the next one, then planning for the next one. And I just kept going on trip. And I just kept meeting people along the way that kind of helped grow that further. COVID's kind of fucked it up.
Yeah, you're telling me.
I was supposed to do a Southeast Asia trip. Not Southeast. I was supposed to do an East Asia trip. So I was supposed to go into fly into Vietnam. I had a friend that lived in Vietnam. I was going to fly in there and hang out with him in Da Nang. Do some scuba diving. I got my certification, so I can go ahead and do diving out there. I'd done all this planning.
Another hour.
Yeah, I don't know why it does that.
Damn.
Yeah, you have to kind of type something in. Title, boom, 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 post, whatever. Let's get back into it. Sorry for anybody who's watching on Instagram. I'll give it a second to connect, and we're back live. Sorry, guys. But yeah, I think I was saying my whole mentality had changed. I started saving money. I was going to do a Southeast Asia trip. COVID fucked it up. I was going to do more Eastern Europe. I found that I actually liked Eastern Europe a lot more than I liked Western Europe.
Yeah, I've never been. Eastern Europe seems dangerous.
No, it's really not. It's much cheaper, and for you being a single guy, it probably benefits you a lot. The girl to guy ratio, there's a fuck ton of girls compared to guys. All the guys go to Western Europe, so England, Ireland, Scotland, Italy, Spain. They go to these places because that's where the money is, and they'll send money home. Think of comparable to Mexico, They make money in the States and send money back home to their family. I've known a lot of people who do that. So it's kind of the same. So you have just a shit ton of women. The food's cheap. The booze is cheap. There's not as much tourism. Everything's cheaper.
Shit brewed good. Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that's fairly untouched.
I'm sorry to cut you off. I gotta take it.
You're good. Do it up.
Real quick.
So what are we drinking now currently?
This is
the Americano Lounge.
Yeah. Okay, so it's their Honduras coffee. And they said it was pretty light and that and that it was kind of new. And it's
Sorry if you guys are looking at my knuckles.
So it's a blend that they had specifically made for them. And it's high quality organic stuff, and I've liked basically everything I've ever had from Americano. They're by
What's up,
far.
Ryan? What's going on, man?
What up? They're by far my favorite coffee shop in town.
Oh, Jake spends lots of time at Americano Lounge.
And money. I spend lots of money there. But that is my favorite
Shout
thing.
out. Was it Ekin, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Ekin, Olivia,
It's Ekin, Olivia, Cody, Graham. What up, guys?
Cody, Graham, you guys are awesome. Shout out. We're about to drink you guys' coffee. We're about to give you a shout out to all very few people who are watching.
I went by there today and told them we were going to be live. They said they might drop in and check us out. Drink that shit, motherfucker. This actually. So
honestly, that barista parlor was pretty solid.
it was, and now to tell you the truth, the first coffee it did not brew the way I wanted it to, but I kind of figured it out on the last two. I mean, these ones turned out really good, and they brewed exactly how I expected. So
Do you? Oh shit! I can fly.
get burned, bitch.
Do you ever want to do a yerba mate episode?
Oh, I'd love to. We both need to get bombijas.
I have a bombilla.
I need to get one myself, though.
You do.
Start, empty that shit and drink this.
Drink that
This
motherfucking
is
thing.
Americano's coffee, and it's our last coffee of the night. It's also, I'll also say that when we are done with this coffee, I'm peacing out for the night, B.
Why? You ain't shit.
Because I gotta be up at 6 a.m. tomorrow.
Well, it is only 11.
I know, but I gotta get some sleep. I've got a long day.
So
and I've gotta have my wits about me.
Eventually, Jake will have off Mondays. We can start planning for the show.
Mondays and Tuesdays.
The show will be better. We can find more people to have on the show. Hopefully, maybe even you know some people that you think would be pretty ideal for the show. People you know who are uniquely skilled.
Yeah, I got this Russian friend. He's a computer programmer and all this shit.
Cheers, mates.
What else does he do? So with that is cool. Cheers. Prost. But we don't have really a great way to represent that as far as to these guys. We can say like,
"Oh, that's good."
Hey, you're a programmer. So what is it like being a programmer?
So,
you can't really show off what you do.
Let me run it by and let me have a conversation.
So the flavor's bold, but it is actually pretty light at the back
end. Try
end.
and get a topic that we can talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I've done, I haven't drank this yet, so I'll get into it. I posted on East Nashville, so on a couple of Facebook groups, I posted that I was looking for people, but I don't really know the ideal way to go about like trying to make these connections. So I met a guy. There's a guy that comes into Pretoria or comes into Butchertown Hall. Super cool guy. He does dog photography. Doesn't sound that interesting, but honestly, if you've ever seen a photo of a dog jumping in the water and it's the underwater photo, so the dog coming in, bubbles, cute.
Yeah.
He's always been the guy that's taken it. He has thousands and thousands and thousands of followers. He's verified on Instagram.
He's known for it. He's popular for it.
Very popular. Like Elon Musk has bought his photos.
Really?
He drives a fucking DeLorean as one of his many vehicles.
Wait, this guy he made money off of these photos?
Oh my god, he makes stupid money. He comes into Butchertown Hall every day. Nice. He spends at least a couple $100 every day.
Damn.
I want to do that.
So he's super fucking cool. And
you work at the same place Drake does?
No,
I work at Butcher.
He's at Butcher and B on Butchertown Hall.
Oh.
So you ever watched a show called The Mighty Boosh?
Too fucking good.
You ever heard of like Old Greg? I'm a scaly manfish. That's what he's from.
Do you love me?
Do you love me? Can you learn to love me? So it's a British show where they do skits and it focuses around
it's like Monty
Howard
Python
Moon and Vince Noir.
It sucked.
No, I love
I love
the Boosh.
them.
Anyways,
so fun.
for Halloween he was Old Greg.
I must meet this man.
Do you love me? He's that guy.
I must meet this man.
So I talked to him a couple days ago, and
did you tell him Jake said hi?
He doesn't know you.
Well, but you can still tell him I said hi. Tell him I said hi.
So yeah,
please.
He just went around the other day dressed as fucking
That's great.
Old Greg.
That's great.
Dressed as Old Greg. You guys can't see this on Instagram or Facebook.
Brandon, let's get this motherfucker on the show.
But so he just dressed like this, didn't tell anybody who he was, and he just went around just fucking sitting like that. Like fucking seaweed, scaly manfish. Nobody knew, like, everybody knows who he is.
Of course, you knew exactly that it was Old Greg.
I didn't know that was him, though. I saw him sitting at the bar, and I was like, fuck yeah, Old Greg. And then I just kind of continued with work.
Uh-huh.
And then I saw him a couple days later, and he was like, yeah, I was in here dressed as Old Greg. And I was like, that was you? I was like, I saw you, and was like, fuck yeah, Old Greg.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, he's somebody that
awesome.
I want to have on the show, but I feel like I need to, like, kind of improve the studio. So we're wanting to build a grid up here that will allow us to hold the camera. We're wanting to do that whole wall of green screen all the way up. So we're wanting to put this on the ceiling, put something on the floor, and allow us to do skits, improv.
Let me give you my opinion on waiting to have people on, and I think 80% I think 80% of what we do is this. It's just, it's you and me's off the chain banter.
Yeah.
That's 80%
Just
of
fucking
it.
improv,
And it's
like off the cup.
exactly, and it's always going to be that.
Hopefully.
And
Ideally.
I mean, like that 80% is always gonna be 80% of what we do, and everything else is like 20%. It's nice to have it, but we're still, if we have natural, interesting conversation, then that's all we need. And it's nice to have the bells and whistles, but like if we have an opportunity to get somebody on that you think will be fun to interview, let's just fucking run it.
True, but like let's say I can have somebody who is who is this dog photographer, right? I can have the green screen back there. We can be standing in the area where we're showing his photos and he can kind of go through the whole scene. Or if we're interviewing somebody who in Nashville is a guitar builder, we can have videos of him building a guitar, just kind of doing his thing while we're talking and the green screen being in the back, playing videos that he does. It's all stuff that we can do. Or we can have just silly ass fucking skits where we wear fucking costumes, or we have like a whole wardrobe of like silly shit where we're drinking beer and dressed like fucking cowboys, and we do, we high noon people.
I love the concept of high nooning.
What is high nooning?
He's not ready for high nooning.
I'm so
We just
excited to
take
tell you
your
the story.
butt out?
Okay, no. This is the
like
idea.
Back to the Future.
All right, this is our other roommate, Leah. You've met Leah. So me and Brandon and Leah were sitting at this bar in my hometown, Harvest Moon. Yeah, we were sitting in my hometown talking about. Honestly, they were ignoring me, and I came up with this idea. Most of it
As you watch Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Continue.
Well, anyway, so I was like, guys, where Leah was like, she was like, we need to get rid of this one guy. He's really.
It's a guy she's talking to, and she's like, I'm done with him.
I'm done with him. We gotta get rid of him. How do we get rid of him? And I was just like, I have an idea, and that you guys were like, yes, and I was like, okay. What we do is we go to one of those old Western like ghost towns, and they're like, I'm not really sure I'm following, but okay. And I was like, we go to one, and what we do is we kidnap him, and they're like, yeah, like basically he walks out of his apartment one day, and then boom, you chloroform him, and the last thing he sees before he falls unconscious is being thrown into the back of a DeLorean. Okay, and we have to rent a DeLorean for this to work.
No, we use Seth. He's got a DeLorean.
That's fine. It'll work. That's great. We need him for this.
We're gonna do a whole episode from a DeLorean.
We're gonna high noon somebody that night. Anywho. So, and then like he wakes up like this. He's just like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And he's like, he's at a Western bar, and the bartender's like, son, you've had too much to drink. I done told you 3 times to get out of here. You can't have this kind of attitude in here. You're scaring off the regular patrons. Get outside, And he's just like, what the fuck? And like everybody's dressed in Western
There's
attire.
old people playing cards at a table behind them.
There's a guy playing the harmonica, And
that's high nooning so
and
much.
hang on.
It goes further.
And so. And he stands up and he's like wearing all Western clothes. And he's like, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on?
There's no resemblance of any kind of modern technology.
Yeah, it's all Western. And he's like, and anyway, and so he walks outside, and then there's some gruff guy that's just like, hey, it's past high noon already. I didn't think your yellow belly was gonna show. Draw! And then it's like, bang, he gets shot. And then he dies.
In real IRL, in real life.
In real life.
I was thinking high noon the drink.
So what we do is that we come in under false names, and we
hire all these actors.
We hire all these actors who think they're playing a part, and they'll end up shooting him with a live round, all like Alec Baldwin style. They'll kill him.
Baldwin style. That shit was fucked up, dude. I can't believe he killed that fucking girl.
So they'll end up shooting them in real life, and then when the cops show up, everybody's like, yeah, Jimmy Jones hired me for this scene, and then we're completely fucking gone, and the guy that we want to get rid of is dead.
Yeah, exactly.
All under false names.
Honestly, it'd be much easier to just shoot the motherfucker.
The perfect crime. No, it wouldn't. High nooning's the easiest.
But
high nooning's the most poetic.
Like, the thing is, though, it's like, I feel like if somebody gets murdered and the circumstances are too damn weird to understand, the police are just like, it's a weird one.
But imagine if you believe any kind of form of afterlife.
That shit's good.
No, it is good. So imagine if you believe in any form of afterlife, and he's in like heaven or hell or whatever, and they're like, "How'd you die?" And they're like, "Well, I was in a western. I lost a gunfight." And they're like, "Gunfight? We haven't had a good gunfight person in here in 200 years." like
Like what?
Yeah, I was at a shootout with a rugged cowboy.
There's also a variation of it where the variation of the high nooning process where basically the guy wakes up and he's in a western town surrounded by all these western folk, and he's just like, what the fuck? And then we approach him and we're like, hey dude, honestly, we time traveled you back to western times, and if you ever want to see your friends and family again, you're gonna have to like agree to give us everything you own when you get back.
There could be also
ransom variation.
There's another variation that's called Shanghaiing somebody, and you have
the same thing but Chinese.
Yeah. They wake up and they've got like a sword on their side, and then there's like somebody speaking Mandarin or Cantonese to them, and they're like, I don't know what the fuck you're saying, and then all of a sudden he tries to get into a sword fight and he gets skewered.
Right. Yeah. He gets Jackie Chan.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, some guy named Jack Black hired me, and he hired me for this position, and I thought it was a prop sword, but apparently it's a real sword, and I killed him, and perfect murder, and then we're off somewhere else, and we're like, good thing that guy's fucking dead.
Yeah.
Anybody's watching this, like, Jesus Christ.
We're really weird people. Thank you for hanging out with us. We're really weird.
Yeah, he was just talking about Tinder and stuff. So you started the bar low, all right?
You let me know when you want to do it.
Let's fucking do it. Our conversation's fun and wacky.
You started the bar low, so with the Tinder thing. So it's all, it goes Tinder,
downhill,
and then it goes high nooning, and then, there's no telling where the conversation's going
next. All right,
next.
guys. So I ain't got much longer. I really got to sleep.
Fuck sleep.
I finished my coffee.
I didn't. So this.
Tell me, what was your favorite beer tonight?
Hold on. So you didn't talk too much about this. This is Americano Lounge.
We're gonna get to that.
We already drank it all.
I know, but hang on.
Honduras.
We've been out of beer for a minute.
Comas Marcala. Marcala.
I want to say
Natural Reserve. High being organic. 12 inches.
I bet.
Estate. Single origin.
But Brandon.
At Americano Lounge, we use only the highest quality of organic coffee available. I already
said all that.
Each variety
its
own unique flavor and personality. Perfect for all of your brewing preferences. We hope you enjoy our coffees as much as we do.
Leaving in 3 minutes.
That's fucked up. Why 3 minutes specifically? Holy Trinity? 3?
I'm a time-oriented guy.
What time is it? Exactly. To the dot. Don't look at it. That's fucked up.
Ooh.
That was like 3 minutes and 20 seconds at least.
So listen, guys.
From the time.
It's after 11. I gotta get some sleep. And I have to be up in 6 hours. So I ain't got a lot of time here.
Shit. Yeah, I gotta be up in 8, but I feel sorry.
But listen. So I want to. Yeah.
I'm kidding.
I want to talk a little bit
about the top beers, top coffees.
Yeah, top beer, top coffee, and I think that's a good place to end.
Should everybody, if they have the option to do a pour over, should they do a pour over? Or is drip coffee, Mr. Coffee machines, are they okay?
They're good. Yeah, they're good. So I mean,
why should somebody go over one or the other? So there's things like French presses, and there's pour overs, and there's coffee pots. And
to me, the most important thing about coffee is convenience, and that's why
that's not convenient.
It's not. No, pour overs fucking suck to make. I love the taste, but 9 times out of 10, I'm a drip coffee guy. Even though I know
sawdust and all.
Yeah. I mean, I'll drink some shitty coffee with sawdust in it. In fact, it's a long story.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. I mean, But like, I mean, that's also the reason that, like, although I know how to make coffee, I mean, I'll go spend $10 on a coffee at a coffee shop because I don't want to put the work into it.
You're paying for convenience.
Exactly.
It's convenience.
And so that's why I love coffee shops. Because I can go in and be like, hey, make me a pour over,
All right, so we
not
got
that I
to
order them often.
We don't have our...
And
okay, we've got all our coffees here.
Out of the coffees, so Living Waters was good. I feel like I messed up that pour over the way I was doing it. And the other two coffees were better because I made it in the kitchen and I used the kettle. And so so it's a little biased. We need to but we have these coffees and we'll save them and we'll use them again later. I really like the Barista Parlor one. I really like the Americano one. The Living Waters one was also good, but like I said, I don't think I gave it really a fair shake because of the way that I made it.
So, top coffee of the night. We'll do each.
I'm tied
Where can I
here.
watch this video on YouTube?
It's on YouTube, it's on Twitch, it's on Facebook Live, it's on
I can look on your
Instagram.
Or something.
If you go to Instagram and type in Tradeskills, you'll find us.
Yeah.
All the videos are posted. Or
Totally.
if you want this filter instead of this green shit, because they don't have green screens on Instagram, not that I know of. Anyways,
Find us on Facebook. So we stream through Brandon's account. That's Boomeo, Bumeo.
like a bum Romeo, Bumeo.
Bumeo.
Yeah, that's my favorite of the night. That's the Barista Parlor was solid.
It was good. I'm a bit torn here. I do think I probably lean towards that one.
Why?
Start. Thanks for coming on, dude. I had a good time.
Been dope.
I'm a man of time.
We'll hang
Should
out.
get out of
hang
that
out again soon.
That's very un-Italian of you.
Sayonara.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Arrivederci.
Ciao. Arrivederci.
We'll do the
Arrivederci.
Inglorious Bastards.
Yeah.
Arrivederci.
Arrivederci.
Yeah. So,
Anywho.
Barista Parlor was my favorite. Second favorite was Americano Lounge. Not to say this one was good. Maybe Jake fucked up on it.
I did. I fucked up on it. It's honestly though. Seriously, with coffee, I ain't a picky dude. I really like all coffee.
We can be a Waffle House and we'll fuck that coffee up. Jake and I have fucked up many Waffle House coffee.
Many Waffle House coffees. I mean, I feel like I know the difference between good and bad coffee, and everything tonight I thought was pretty darn good.
Okay, so favorite beers. We've got one.
I think the Orpheus was my favorite. Leah,
two,
welcome to the show.
And
We're going offline.
grab
in like
that
10
Southern
seconds.
Grist. I drank one of your beers, so you're more than welcome to grab one of these
Fancy boys.
Southern Grist. I think I grabbed a bunch of those.
What is it?
It's a churro spear, man.
It's
great.
it's a coffee porter. It's
fucking good.
it's got a churro and sitting in a cup of coffee. It's called. It's not you. You said it, not me.
All right.
Anyways, so my favorite was probably the second beer we had, which was this
Evil
Southern
Twin?
Grist.
I think I liked
Evil Twin.
Orpheus the most, even though it was the sweetest. I don't normally like sweet stuff, but I really like that one. Anyway, that's my thoughts on it tonight. I thought this was a pretty good, fun episode.
Yeah.
It's good to work coffee into the show finally.
Yeah, especially when we have our special trade skill cups.
Yeah, and
Shout out.
and I've got a lot of friends that work in coffee shops, and I'm gonna try and get some of them to come on and really show us how it's done and give us some real thoughts on coffee. So we're gonna work that in there.
Yeah. Pumped. All
Anyway,
right, guys, it's
let's
been
get
awesome.
offline.
We're getting ready
It's been
to.
fun.
So we'll see you guys next week. Not
Next
exactly
Monday.
sure what's going on, but
we're
next.
gonna interview a bear.
And by bear, we mean a burly gay man.
No, I mean
stature.
literally a real bear.
Oh, a badger.
No, an actual bear. I'm improv. I mean, I feel like I can promise.
I feel like
these
in Nashville,
things,
in the gay
and
communities, we can find a bear pretty easily if you want.
That's not what I'm talking. I'm talking
Boys,
about
boys,
talking about a
boys.
literal bear.
That's what I'm talking about.
We're not gonna be able to explain anything anymore. So let's just
A
leave.
bear, a badger. We can go a silver fox if you want, like a kind of an older
Fuzzy
gray guy.
Wuzzy was a bear.
Yeah, Fuzzy Wuzzy
Had no hair.
hung out in all the gay clubs.
Please, let's get the fuck offline. I'm making far less sense. I don't know what's going on anymore. I want sleep. I want sleep
All right, guys.
badly.
It's been cool.
I'm tired.
So Instagram and all that will probably go off a little bit later. It takes a little time for us to end that one. So we will see you guys next week, 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Ciao. Y'all have a good night. Thank you for tuning in.
Arrivederci.
Arrivederci.